If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker Studio, Ivy House, Henley Road, Studley, B80 7DU, and make sure you don't forget your customer number. Get making and good luck. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When you spend with us £4.95, you will get a free welcome pack. That welcome pack will give you pretty much everything you need to get started. From a manual, which will help you to familiarise yourself with all of the items that you're going to be creating and all of the products that you need, including tools and findings and threads. You'll also get a DVD and step-by-step project cards. These cards and the DVD will give you the chance to be able to create a wonderful arrangement of different items of jewellery. Plus, you'll also get a free pack of tools. These will be everything you need to get started. So, getting started with the Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. So why not give it a go today? Jewellery Maker, your one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting. But being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
Hello and good evening. That was quite hilarious, that moment. You just missed that. You just missed that. That was quite one of those office moments when lovely Gem Hawkes got onto the chair and there were no breaks. It just started rolling, 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 rolling. That was good, that was.
I very nearly joined you.
You did, indeed. It was just like, whee, going down. It's like one of those things that you want to do,
but kind of afraid. Yeah, there's breakable things.
I know, exactly. Like you're breakable. We don't want you to. We don't want you to break. We don't want you to. Are you well?
I'm all right, my thank you, darling.
Good.
No,
thank you, darling. Hey,
just rearrange the words until it all makes some sense.
Do you know what? Yoda did it, and look at Star Wars.
Well, I just watched episode 1 today with
Well,
my lad
there
and the
we
kid across
go.
the road. It was great.
That all explains it.
I've gone into Yoda mode now.
Oh, bless you, darling. Listen, Gem Hawkes joins me tonight. I know. Welcome to the Late Show. Gorgeous to have your company. My name's Ray Carpenter. All the way through with you until 10 o'clock tonight. It's demo weekend. 2 fantastic kits that we've got for you tonight. Absolutely gorgeous. So our first kit tonight, you're going to see a lot of sparkle, a lot of really vivid colour, and a whole host of gorgeous wire work with our fabulous gem. And then, of course, later on, we've got, more amethyst that you could shake a big stick at, really. It's like the amethyst were there, and then they just kept reproducing. And it just kept on and on and on. So we've got so much gorgeous amethyst for you a little later on. We're looking forward to that as well. And loads in between. Lots of you got in touch with me yesterday after last night's Late Show. You got in touch with me to ask about this. Now, I hope you had a fantastic day. These are coming up for you a little later on. Now, yesterday I was talking about how you can create something, and for what all I believe in this life is that, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be really anywhere. Well, I wouldn't be here without my mum, but do you know what I mean? As in, I wouldn't be here with you. If my mum, sort of 10 years ago, when I was offered to go back to Gemporia after having my son, if my mum had said, no, I can't look after Ellis, my son, while you go up to Birmingham back and forth, then this career would never have happened. So for me, I think grandparents are the unsung heroes of the UK, bar none. I really do. And so we're going to be bringing you these fabulous little charms a little later on for you. There are 3 in the pack. And you've got that lovely, very distinctive font. That's coming up for you a little later on within this hour. Looking forward to that. There's not a huge amount for you. There's not a huge quantity. There are 3 in the pack. If you're thinking, 3 in the... Did that need a symbol? I don't know. Get down with your bad self. I think literally Ben has just done that on the soundboard. We'll just lean on that. We'll just lean on that. It's fine. So we've got those coming up for you a little later on. We've got lots more in between. Where should we start, Beck? Yeah, let's do that. Okie dokie, my lovely. So, last night we had lots of last of stock for you, which you adored. So we are just going to crack on with that for you tonight. These are very, very pretty. Now, decide to do with these as you wish, but have a look. Now, these are literally crying to be chandeliers, aren't they? You've got that beautiful opportunity to drop so many gorgeous gemstones off these, and they are perfect connectors, aren't they, when you're thinking about earrings, when you're thinking about a pendant, and even maybe a massive look bracelet coming to life here with some beautiful gemstones, and of course a big cascade neckline piece. Do they? How different? Antique plated colour brass connector. No, they look very different. That is exactly what I've picked out, my lovely. Can we have a look at what they should be getting? Is that a possibility that we can, is there a look, can we look at the picture on the web? Well, I love this, we're off to a great start. Love it. Gems rolling, rolling, rolling down here. I can't find my makeup bag anywhere, so I'm really sorry. You're just going to see beam across there tonight because there's no shine resistance powder at all, unfortunately. So if we've not got, we can't. We're on it. We're on it. We can show you a photograph of these. I'm really sorry. It's not these. You're not getting these. I'm going to put these back in. Forget it. Forget it. I'm going to pop that over there. Now, I'm really sorry, but we can't show you those live, but we can show you them on our website. There they are. There they are. All pretty. Oh, they actually are. They are pretty, aren't they? Really pretty. Antique silver-plated brass connectors. That's a silver-plated colour, of course, that you've got. And the price is going to kick on your screen at £4.95. There we go. Which is better, because that was a 5-pack and that's a 10-pack. Even better still. Even better still. I do apologise. Oh, I do love the fact that we're off. It's one of those. It's going to be one of those. It's all right. We're winging it. It's okay. We're all right. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. Sorry to rush you, but we are going to move on to, right, let's double check now that this is correct. It is rose quartz. Good gracious me. We got it right. These are pretty, actually. Really pretty. This would be perfect. If you're looking for jewellery for sort of, you know, your sort of maybe your, if you're thinking maybe your goddaughters, your daughters, your granddaughters, for example. I know my niece Grace, who is just about to turn, I think she's 8 next month, and that would be a gorgeous rose quartz bracelet. They're lovely, aren't they? Very distinctive stars, though. Beautifully, beautifully shaped. Lovely depth to them as well. Proper candy floss colour, those, aren't they?
Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way they nestle together.
They're nice. The way that they literally just, oh, hang on, ruler in the way. The way that they sort of butt up against each other and just literally sit beautifully.
That's gorgeous. If you're looking for ideas on how to use them, check back on the Late Show on the 2nd of January. We used
God, she's all
some
over
stars.
this. Hang on a minute. Say again.
On the Late Show on the 2nd of January, we had a significant proportion of stars. So if you're looking for ideas of how you might use those,
on our YouTube, right, okay, so head on over to YouTube and you will see Jem, of course, she's saying that on the 2nd of January, you will have had a significant amount of gorgeous stars and you will have been shown lots and lots of different ways on how to use them. So that was the 2nd of January on the Late Show. Head on over to YouTube, have a little scout through there. Do you know sort of which time kit it was, my lovely?
I genuinely can't remember. I'm ever so sorry.
She's remembered enough already that it was the 2nd of January, quite frankly. $6.95 for natural, unenhanced Rio Grande do Sul Brazilian rose quartz. We can take that price a little lower for you as well tonight. 0800 644 655 is the number that you need to be dialing. $5.95 on your screen. And they are genuine, they are natural, they're a lovely size as well. 15mm on a 15cm strand, and I'm just going to turn them to the side again for you just so you can see the depth to them. So if you were thinking of all the different mediums that we offer you here at JM for that one-stop shop, you have got a whole host of different ways in which you can incorporate this. They've got a lovely depth to them, haven't they?
They have.
Not just a thin sliver.
No, this is true. They've got a lovely feel to them as well. I've kind of had a bit of a go with those.
Okay.
And they are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they are very smooth, that lovely smooth tactile quality.
They are tactile,
yeah,
absolutely.
very much. Yeah,
really
very
lovely
much.
on the back of the wrist as you have them because they sit flat and they don't harass you in any way.
They're going to be very comfortable, aren't they? Really
Totally.
comfortable. $5.95 on your screen. Make sure you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can on those, please. We're going to move on then to... I do have some... yes, I've got them, darling. Yeah. God, the colour on these is amazing. Now, just going to drape those, just so you instantly get a chance to see the radiance. You instantly get a chance to see the sort of sheen of ultraviolet there, the turquoise, almost a metallic amount of incredible pearlescence on these. Now, they're not, if you think, you know, that sort of perfect round, they're a little bit more baroque, they're a little bit more organic, they're a little bit more free form, very similar in their shape and size, but nowhere near identical. And it gives it such a free form, organic feel. Even if you're just sparingly using these in a piece of jewellery, or if you're kind of going, you know, to town on using all of them. For me, and I don't know about you, Jem, but for me, it's that radiance, that pearlescence that is so eye-catching with this colour.
It is. That's absolutely perfect way to describe it as well. It just sort of gleams and glistens
Doesn't it?
beautifully.
Radiates.
It is gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. You know, like the best colours in an abalone. When you see the abalone, that best colour, the one that you go, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that one's amazing. These beautiful, and it says black freshwater cultured pearls. I'm just going to say no. Whoever named them, no. They are definitely definitely not your black freshwater cultured pearls. They are much more that kind of silver pearlescence, that's almost peacock tone that you've got coming through. And it's much more of the lighter peacock tones that you've got as well. It's not that deep kind of midnight blue that gives way to that sort of a deep violet that gives then way to the sort of the teal green. Although there is a little element of teal coming through there, the majority of it is the lighter turquoise, the lighter silvers, the lighter purples, the lighter sort of shimmering tones, and the pearlescence is off the scale. It's a 38 centimetre strand, they're 5 by 6 millimetres. You've got them alternating. Now it looks to me as if they are more top drilled than they are centre drilled. So that's going to give you a lot of different variety in the way of using them. Definitely sort of more petals, more sort of clustering with them. Please make sure you're checking out. Wait until you see the price on these. $2.95. What? Get out of town. It's good, isn't it? I know. $2.95. Can we have a Welsh word for these? Bendigedig. Fantastic. Bendigedig. 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 Did you? Becky just went, I tried to learn some Welsh before the show so that I could communicate with you. Might take a while, love. Might take a while. You found some cool words? Are they shareable? Oh, what?
One of them was like him over there or something.
Him over there, Vedra fanna. It's from an article. 34 Welsh phrases that are just as good as Popty Ping. Come on then, hit me with one. Him over... It's pardon? I don't know what language that is. I don't know what language that is. Might as well. There's quite a few different ways of saying it. Man a man. Okay, man a man, yeah. That would make sense. But a monkey... I don't know what website she's on. I've got no idea. I did just swear then, sorry. I read a website. We're going off on tangent. Should we get to go back to the gemstones? Make sure that you're checking out, confirming.
Don't believe everything you read on the interweb.
Oh, do not, on the interweb. That's what I'm going to say that rather than try and get words out and then say swear words accidentally. I do apologise about that. Moving on, quickly. Hi, Marilee. Hi to Gertrude. Honestly, it's going to be one of those shows tonight. You can just tell. It was very, very accidental. So was the nib bits. I don't know what I said. When did I say that?
Yesterday.
What did I say that for yesterday? Why didn't anybody point it out to me? Did you?
We made fun of you all night for it.
You made fun of me all night for saying. I don't even remember saying it. I've slept since then. Anyway, moving on. Right, let's go. Silver colour. Oh, fabulous. We haven't had this in ages. Gorgeous stuff. Right, okay. The beading wire. Now, you've got the silver colour. Really important that I make sure that you know that it is silver colour that we're getting here. It's the 0.015. Sorry, no, I'm not going to do the inches. I'm going to do the millimetres. So it's a 0.38 of a millimetre. You're getting 9.2 metres, and it's the one where you've got the 49 individual strands all in the one intertwined thread. So it makes it uber strong. Now you've got there just the last 15, my goodness me, that's it. That's all we've got left in the warehouse. One of our most popular, it's got to be said, purely because of the strength of that as well. You can see it does, so you've got the sort of indication here, but then when you spin it round, do you remember last time I thought that was a light bulb? Oh, that was quite special, wasn't it, really? I know, and somebody had to point it, who was it who pointed out that it was a wire guardian? Oh, I can't remember, but you know, when you just sort of look at yourself in the mirror and go, good gracious me, how do I put one foot instead of the other? This is all your guide that you need to know how much of that, of course, is going to, the weight that it's going to take. Please do make sure that you're checking out very, very quickly on these. They are the last 15 are at £20.95. Now we do so many different threads here, from your beading thread that we've done as standard for 7 years, through to your jewellery elastic, through to your Essilon now, your monofilament, for example. My gosh, your Fireline and your Wildfire. This has been a staple for a little while now. It's very, very popular. This is probably one of the ones I would say is a little bit of a sort of a designer's choice, isn't it, Gem?
It certainly is, yeah. It's so friendly to use. It doesn't kind of get itself knotted in any way, and it has that amazing strength because of the sheer quantity of threads that are running in there. It's beautiful to use. How
often do you get a chance to use? I've never seen it in a kit. I can't say that it's never been, but I've personally never seen it in a kit.
I don't recall seeing it in a kit, but like yourself, I have slept since my last kit.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Do make sure you check it out, confirming as soon as you can. Well done. Hold those lines. Well done. Now we're going to stay with your wire. Now this is again the 49 strand nylon coated, but this time around is a little bit special because this is 24 karat gold plated. So, excuse me, you've got just over 3 meters, just over 3 meters of it, and that colour is rich, very, very rich. And the lovely thing about it is that if you are using your beautiful precious metals, and if you do want that kind of stability and that strength, but you don't want to be using a sort of a wire that is going to detract from the sort of the colour flow of the piece, it is quite frankly a premium quality. Right, now this is the Flexrite beading wire, okay, and it's a stainless steel base with 24 karat gold on top of it. And it's the one, just like we had a second ago, 49 individual strands woven into the one entire length of that thread. It is very, very strong indeed. But look, I think it's great that we're offering it in that, well, to be fair, it's going to be Beadsmith that are offering it in that gorgeous rich gold colour. So that is all we had left, was 20 available opportunities. We're down to £17.95. Make sure you check it out. Again, last of stock. You saw how quickly last night in the first hour our last of stock pieces were literally on and gone. Do make sure that if you want to get the last of stock on our wires, that you are making sure that you are involved, you are saying yes to the call centre, you're checking out of your baskets, you're checking out on the app and making that yours. £17.95, one shipping and handling charge for the entire day, 30-day money-back guarantee as well for you, so let's not forget about that from the day that you receive your delivery. And of course, no questions asked if you return anything to us either. Numbers on your screen on 0800 644 655. And remembering that this has, again, that lovely durability with it, so do make sure, just like we had with the sort of the silver coloured one, it's got that durability and it will take that fabulous weighty piece of jewellery and give you the confidence to be able to wear that as often as you like. Do make sure that you're checking out though, won't you? That's all we've got left is the 20. So when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. That's not to say that we won't reorder them when we get a chance to, but at the moment, that is everything that is in the warehouse. Huge good luck to you. Well done. We're going to move on then to... Now, that is a lot of nuggety gemstones. Now you've got 2 strands here, and they're the double length strands. So instantly you've got a heck of a lot of gorgeous not kyanite, I'm going to say it's iolite, isn't it? Some beautiful violets coming out of that. Every single one is natural. Now against my hand, it's going to look quite, almost a grey purple, with maybe sort of a flash of violet and a flash of blue. In the light, when you're holding it up here in the studio, there are flashes of violet. Double trouble, 220 carats of iolite plain nuggets, 2x1 to 11x2, 64 centimetre strand, both of them. So you have got so much Indian iolite. Now, iolite doesn't like to be treated, it doesn't like to be radiated, it doesn't like to be diffused, it doesn't like to be heat treated. It is a gemstone that just wants to be as is. So if you're finding it in its purest colour, its purest clarity, its purest form, hallelujah, then you have got an absolute one of a kind. But with these ones, you're seeing the grey blues, you're seeing the greyish purples, you're seeing it in its kind of natural state. The price is going to be amazing for you. Please believe me when I say you are getting all that double trouble iolite for under £5. Now, bearing in mind, okay, normally you would just get that 84 centimetre strand for around about that price. Look at that. Iolite's my favourite gemstone, says Angela. Great price, isn't it, Angela? Absolutely amazing price. There are some people messaging in Welsh, but because Becky doesn't speak Welsh, she doesn't know if she's censoring it correctly or not. Is there a way that you can't bring it up on here without bringing it up on this main screen? Noswaith. That just means good evening. Yeah. Noswaith. Who's that from? This is from Engineer Sam. Noswaith, ladies. Noswaith to you. Lovely to have your company. Thank you. That's really lovely. Noswaith to you as well. It means a very good evening.
How
It's
lovely.
nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're up in Cumbria as well. So, I mean, I don't know whether you are a Welsh speaker. I'm not going to say that just because you're up in Cumbria you're not, but you know. But there, you know, it might just be a little bit of a Google Translate, but that's lovely that you went to the effort for it. So thank you very, very much indeed. Do make sure that you... It's when you go, okay, Google, tell me what this means. Then you're going to be literally pouring it down, all the Welsh down my ear, aren't you? Yeah. $4.95 on your screen for natural iolite. Do make sure you're checking out. Hi, Janet and John. Hello to Carol. Hello to Joe. Hello to collectors in Kildare and Essex and Norfolk and Greater Manchester and Lancashire. Hello to Angela. Hello to Susan. Hello to Michelle. Hello to Deborah Ann. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming, won't you? Do make sure you're checking out. Now, I'm going to move on from the iolite. And we are going to bring you... These are fabulous. Right, that is the best split of colour that I have seen in any of our Ametrine since I've been back with you here at JM. Now, the reason I say that is because it's not just a mix of maybe lavenders and golds on a strand. It is the pure dynamic mix in the actual gemstones themselves. So you've got the pure pockets of gold colour of the citrine in these gorgeous purples. Look at how perfect they are, gleaming. Slight inclusions in there, but do you know what? Ametrine is allowed to have those silks and shaddowns as a type 2 gemstone, so that's not a problem. What's important is, to be honest with you, this one in the centre and the few either side of it, the size of them and the dispersion of colour that we're getting there. Absolutely gorgeous. 100 carats of Ametrine in total on this beautiful strand. It's a 20 centimetre strand. They're all natural. They're all unenhanced. They come to you from Bolivia, the only place in the world that produces gemstone quality, beautiful Anahi Ametrine. You've got 23 strands left. Wow! Let's be honest. You would imagine paying $12.95 for just the one in the centre, wouldn't you? With the size, with the split of colour, with the swirl of the way that the gold comes through in those purples is amazing. Literally just caressing those purples. Oh, 800 644 655 on your screen, the last few. If you've never worked with a Anahi Ametrine, if you've never worked with that Mother Nature miracle where she splits amethyst and citrine into one gemstone, so you get the benefit of both those luxurious colours in the one gemstone, this is the way to go about it, especially at the price that's on your screen, and especially for the size of these beautiful ovals. 8x6 to 18 by 12 millimetres on 20 centimetre strand. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming. 0800 644 655. Do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you possibly can. These are, I'd be really hard pushed to put these all in one piece of jewellery. I'd want to pick the best. That one in the centre is captivating. I'd want to choose that one, and I'd want to do something very, very special with just that one.
I think so too. They're absolutely outstanding, and the glow that you're getting from the citrine element within...
It's glowing, isn't it? In the studio even.
It's really gorgeous. The sort of natural sunlight golds that are flooding away. Like yourself, I'd probably use them quite sparingly. That central one, I think, probably in a pendant.
Yeah.
And I would mix my metals. I'd want some gold, some rose gold.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Because I know that we've all got a favourite precious metal colour.
Oh, yes.
But the Ametrine just opens it up to a little bit experimental, I think, like Mother Nature's been with the gemstone.
Definitely, and it looks so much different when you add an antique bronze to it than if you're using one of our more traditional, you would probably put an Ametrine in gold.
Yeah, it's a lot, I think, because more often than not, the actual amethyst part of the Ametrine isn't necessarily, that's probably the strongest part. So you'd highlight the golds of the citrine with the use of the precious metal colour, wouldn't you?
You would indeed, absolutely, but I would want to kind of mix that up. And every other one, central one would be a pendant, every other one would be a ring. And I think I'd have to keep one.
Yeah, it is quite an outstanding opportunity. Listen, it's selling out, so please do make sure you're holding those lines. Talk to the call centre as soon as you possibly can. Check it out your baskets. Don't miss out on that. They are beautiful open colour. Beautiful open colour. Very last of stock. Anila, Cuts in Kildare, still waiting to check out. Everybody else has checked out. Huge good luck to you. Stay there. Now, I've got... Yesterday, we had some phenomenal wire deals. Do you remember Laura was talking specifically about our square wire yesterday? We didn't have any for you, but we do tonight. Star buys. So we've got your bundle of 0.5 square wire. Instantly, the sheen that it gives is quite special. So this is your silver-plated copper square wire, and I don't want to unravel it, but I'm just going to show it to you down camera 2, so you can just kind of get an idea. That surface, if you've not seen it, you can just see it's got that lovely edge to it, a really clean, lovely line. This is a 0.5 square wire. You've got 2 reels of 3 metre silver plated copper square wire. So you're going to get both reels for one price. You're getting 6 metres in total. Now, this gives, doesn't it, Gem, the most distinctive effect when you're wrapping it, when you're working, sort of doing your wire work.
It does indeed. It looks absolutely amazing. I mean, you can use it by itself. You can use it with your round wires as well. It does look beautiful when you combine it with the half round, because it looks like you have an almost machined representation, especially if you're doing quite an intricate wire weave and you want to add some details. Then a length of the half round wrapped around a length of the square wire just looks absolutely incredible.
We don't normally do a 0.5 in the round. It's normally 4s, 6s,
and 6s. It's quite rare.
So this is a 5 mil. Obviously we look at 8s for structure, we look at 6 then sort of for a little bit more of intricate work, and then 4 for our sort of wire wrapping. What would we be looking at with the 5 in the square? Does the fact that it's square sort of bring a bit of different strength to it?
It certainly does, yeah. The profile of a square wire, there's actually more wire per centimetre for the same gauge.
Okay.
If you think about the actual shape that you're working with.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
So your 0.5 in a square will act a bit more, somewhere between a 0.6 and a 0.8.
Okay.
It looks so funky if you do wire writing with it. One thing I will say is measure first and bend once with your square wire, because it doesn't have quite that same return as a round wire would.
Interesting.
So just be sure that that's where you want to bend it, and it will look so cool.
Wow.
Just if you stack them all up together and wrap them, because of the shape, how they sit one on top of the other, they'll stay as well.
Oh, wow.
So sort of 6 strands, they just sit so neatly, especially when you wrap them with the half round. You make some really funky bangles and cuffs and things with them, just to sort of build up.
Fab, thank you, sweetheart. Listen, we've got the 2 reels. This is from engineer Sam. Not sweat that again. That wire is brilliant with cabochons. Well, funny you should mention that because we've got some beautiful amethyst cabochons in the second kit for you later on, and they are just amazing. Now, all you're paying is $2.95 for these 2 reels. So you're getting 6 meters of the silver-plated copper square wire in a 0.5, and you're getting it all for $2.95. Go, 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 go. We have got a limited availability on the... I didn't say go, go, go. $2.95 on your screen. Please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Oh, I'm not going to say it now. 0800-644-655. Do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. $2.95. We are quite limited on the quantity of the bundles, so please do make sure that if you are diving in to get hold of these, it's $2.95 on your screen. You can go to JewelleryMaker.com, of course, which is our website. You can download the app from the App Store and Google Play and have it literally on your smartphone, your tablet, on the go. Please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming as soon as you possibly can, though. Just $2.95 for Violet and Jennifer and Francis and Sarah. Clutch and Kent, still not yet checked out. Everybody else checked out. And the majority of our customers in this opportunity multi-buying. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. That's the way to do it. It really, really is. Do make sure that you're checking out and confirming those, especially if you have multi-bought. We don't want for you to miss out. If you've got your heart set on sort of taking delivery of the square wire and the 0.5, and you are, of course, multi-buying, do make sure that you don't miss out, of course. Hold those lines. Now, we've got these fabulous, and they're brand new, not just at the Late Show, brand new, full stop across the board, not a massive quantity, but we've got, now we did give you a bit of a heads up on these yesterday, and last night when we finished the show, I got loads of messages on our on my Facebook page actually, where everybody was saying, you know, loved what you said about grandparents. Yes, we are the unsung heroes. I agree with you totally. And you were looking forward to being able to buy these tonight. They're coming up in about, should we say about 10-ish minutes? Yeah, about 10 minutes or so. Looking forward to bringing you those. Looking forward to bringing you those. Right then, let's bring you some Kyanite this time. Have a look at this. You've got your Kyanite, beautiful blues. Now, bearing in mind, okay, it says nuggets on your screen. I'm going to say that these are more chips than they are nuggets, because for me, they look as if they are more that sort of that offcut of the bigger stones, because they've got that kind of almost sort of that sort of linear sort of shape to them, and that kind of striated cut on them. But what I will say is that they've got a gorgeous soft palette of blues and almost blue greys coming through here as well. Now, this is, we talked about this a lot last night, about the importance of origin and being able to kind of back up the history of the origin as well. 0800 644 655. This is Nepalese, so you're talking about that celestial blues for your Kyanites. 245 carats, 84 centimetre strand. Now, with all of the different mediums that we bring you now, from, you know, your memory wire bangles and bracelets through to popping these onto jewellery elastic and then kind of knitting with it to create a gorgeous cuff of Kyanite, and so many other ways of working with your chips and nuggets. There really is such a massive opportunity to create so many pieces of jewellery with just this one strand, isn't there?
There certainly is, and it's a beautiful, beautiful gemstone.
It
has
is, isn't it?
Almost like a silky soul to it, which
does.
is gorgeous. So if all you wanted to do was to create a tree of life with it, that's a
lovely
really
idea.
special tree of life.
Yeah, it is. And actually, Chris, I was reading recently one of the kind of most prolific crystal healers of the moment, really, talking about how Kyanite and Labradorite are the gemstones. If you kind of want to be more intuitive, if you want to have kind of that sort of sixth sense, if you like, that Labradorite and Kyanite are the gemstones to be wearing. Now, again, not proven. You know, life would be boring if we all believed and loved the same thing, so that's okay. But again, just interesting to read it. Really good, interesting read. $4.95 for that double length strand of that gorgeous gemstone that comes to you from the rooftops of the world. 0800 644 655, the number that you need to be dialing, of course, if you want to get it. They are beautiful, aren't they? Lots and lots of beautiful. There's some really deep, vivid blues on here. Some grey blues, of course. You can see those clearly. There's some pastel blues on there, some oceanic blues. Kyanite is such a gorgeous gemstone. It really is. Do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can on this one though, won't you? Beautiful natural gemstone. And enhanced. Really, really lovely to work with. And even though they are your chips rather than your kind of nuggets, if you like, they are still centre drilled as perfectly as possible. So you can see how, and you know, okay, so some of your wires aren't going to go through your chips and your nuggets, but there are other wires, so for example your 0.4 perhaps, and perhaps your lower gauges and your beading thread and your fire line and your wildfire, they're going to pass through there easy peasy lemon squeezy.
They will, and if you crochet, you can crochet that with a 0.4, maybe a 0.25,
Nice.
or put it on your beading thread because that gives you a more springy piece of jewellery, which is fun.
Gorgeous. I love Kyanite. Absolutely adore it. Say that again for me, Bex, sweetheart. Yes, my lovely. Wow, that's lovely to look at, isn't it? Graduated beautiful jet blacks, but in a shape that we hardly ever see. Now you've got, oh gosh, the surface on these is wow, wow, wow. Now it says faceted squares. I'm going to tell you now they're not, they're rectangles for a start, but that's fine. They're 4x3 to 7x6. Now the actuals, I'm going to just grab one that is catching my eye. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go for that one there. I'm going to rotate it for you just so you can see the facet. I want you to be able to see, let me just see if I can show you the surface catching the light. Now bearing in mind, okay, you've got, that's just one of them that's glistening on those lovely linear facets, those long striaceous lines on the facet. You imagine all of that, even though it's not a briolette with sort of hundreds of facets, kite-shaped facets and gorgeous kind of, you know, your triangular-shaped facets, it's so lustrous. It's such a beautifully polished gemstone. You do get a surface luster that is captivating off that black spinel. Lovely to see it in this shape, isn't it?
It's really unusual to see it in this shape and so beautiful. I'm imagining straight away some almost Art Deco type designs.
It kind of lends itself totally to that with these shapes, doesn't it?
It does, and also pave setting it, so having kind of 5 wide by 7 deep, a really big, just a rectangular pendant.
Yeah, lovely.
But each would be slightly set off and the light would catch immensely every time you moved.
Absolutely. They are gorgeous. Just loving that inky colour on the surface, amazing. Now, on this strand is a 30 centimetre strand. You've got 62 carats. Now, they are graduated. If I hold that out, I know it's difficult for you to see the graduation because they kind of twist and turn on the strand. But it's a very slight graduation. It's not a massive sort of distinctive graduation. It's not like you've got a 12 mil in the centre. Really subtle graduation, loving the depth of that colour, really loving it. £9.95 on your screen. £9.95, love that. All natural, all unenhanced. There are, you know, really star areas of the world that produce spinel. Thailand, for example, Vietnam are up there. They really, really are up there in the production of spinel, along then with, of course, Tanzania. Not a huge amount of black spinel, though, coming out of Tanzania, if at all. The most of the black spinel, the jet black, luxurious, glossy colour that you're seeing there is coming out of Vietnam and Thailand in the main. So you've got one of the best origins there for producing this beautiful gemstone. £9.95. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Do make sure you're checking out and confirming. We've got those beautiful opportunity to celebrate the grandmas and the nanas of our families, basically, who I believe are the unsung heroes here in the UK. Coming up next for you. Now, yesterday we gave you a bit of a heads up on these because we don't have a lot, and I do imagine that it will be, without a doubt, it'll be one of those ones that's on and gone. Whenever we bring you something like this, it is always through our buying team. It is always thought through. Okay, it's always thought through in that. Who do we celebrate within our lives? You know, so in the past, for example, our team have commissioned sister charms, mum charms, for example, you know, your baby girl, your baby boy charms. We've never done a specific charm to celebrate the nans, the grandmas. I mean, I don't know, because my mum is known as Nine, because Nine is North Walian for grandmother. But then in South Wales it's Mam Gi. So, because my grandparents came from North Wales, my mum became Nine, and my grandfather, my stepdad is Tide, my dad is Pops. So, do you know what? It's all about. It doesn't matter if you're not called Nanny, for example. It's just the fact that you are, and I think that you're amazing. I really, really do. I think that there are so many of women like me out in the world who have been able to pursue careers, get mortgages, put a roof over our families' heads along with our partners, or maybe even not with partners, the single mums as well, but have been able to do that because of the support of the grandmothers out there. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Amazing women who have already done their time of raising their children and then have stepped up, whether it's just a few hours a day, whether it's in the evenings, whether it's all week, to avoid those incredible costs of nursery charges. You know, I remember when I first started working, my nursery charge, so when I moved from Yorkshire back down to Cardiff and I was just doing, you know, I was working in an office, I'd sort of forgotten about sort of doing any sort of TV work because I had a kid and that was what you did. You know, you forgot about your aspirations and you put your families first. And I remember going in to have sort of visits around nurseries and literally getting told that to put my son in nursery so that I could go to work would be over £900 a month. What was the point in going to work? You had to do that back then to get a mortgage. You had to have that. So it wasn't about affordability. It was about 4 times the salary and all of that sort of stuff. So if it hadn't been for my mum, I wouldn't have been able to have the career that I've had, and I'm incredibly grateful. And she still worked, even though she would have my son overnight. She's amazing. I think grandmas and grandmothers and nans and nines and gees, whatever it is, what do your grandchildren call you? Message in. We'd love to hear from you. Really, really would love to hear it. Have you got a sort of funny name? So, for example, my niece couldn't say Grampy when she was little, so she calls her Grampy Bobby. And we all call him Bobby, it's just stuck. So I just wonder, as a grandmother, have you got a sort of a quirky name that because your grandson or your granddaughter couldn't call you Nanny or couldn't call you Nan or couldn't, what do you get called? I'd love to hear from you. Message in. You can do that, of course, via the web, via the app, and via the text 60777 JM Studio. You're getting 3 of these in a pack for £2.45. 3 centimetres. You've got your silver colour with a brass base. But I would love to. And I called my grandmother, I had Nan and I had Nine. What did you used to call your grandparents?
I just had the one,
Yep.
and she was Nan, and she's hugely influential in my life, a majorly wonderful woman, so
Yes,
Nan is very special.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. What will you want to be called when you maybe have grandchildren? Have you decided?
Mistress,
Mistress.
she who shall be obeyed, not in this house, and you'll go to bed when I tell you.
I'm feeling sorry for her grandkids already. Yeah. I I'm gonna carry on the tradition of 9, I think.
I think probably I'll be
Yeah.
Nan, maybe.
Yeah.
I like Nan. Nan's
Yeah,
good.
I think so. Do make sure you're checking out and confirming. £2.45 on your screen. Now you do get 3. You do get 3, just to show you.
You know, I was reading a story the other day about a cat who took on the role of really looking after a small child, and the cat was called Nanny Cat. So I'm thinking that you could also use these as pet tags.
Yeah,
and
I
that'd be
suppose
really
you
cute.
could. I suppose you could. I mean, they're a lovely size. It's a lovely idea. Just think when you're making, you know, like on a rainy Sunday afternoon, you've got all the sort of the little stash kit, and you've got some gemstones left. I think to sit down with your children and make something for Nana, I think is a lovely idea.
Definitely.
Really lovely.
And you don't
Something
have
that
to
we
wait
treasured.
for Mother's Day or Christmas or anything like that, just
Yeah,
whenever.
Definitely. I'm going to move on to, yes, oh God, these are gorge. I love turquoise, don't you? It is awesome. Now you've got some turquoise wheels here. Oh, is that it? That's all we've got left? Oh my goodness me. Tibetan turquoise wheels, graduated from 5x2 to 7x3. Do you know what? They're going to be on and gone. Let's bring in that price. Quick. 0800 644 655. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you possibly can. Last 3 strands of natural, unenhanced Tibetan turquoise. Do talk to the call centre, confirm as soon as you can. Numbers on your screen. It is important that you check out. That's it, the last 3. It's not that we've got another 100 on their way in or anything like that. That is it. 3 strands will have launched just on the run up to Christmas, actually, just on the run up to December. And we've got the last 3 strands. How many of these did we have in, please, Beck? 154, and we've got the last 3. On and gone. 0800 644 655 and £20 for genuine Tibetan turquoise.
It's a lovely
Again,
shape as well,
it?
isn't it?
I think it lends itself as well for gents' jewellery, which is lovely, isn't it?
Exactly what I was thinking. This would be suitable for any gender.
Yeah, gorge. Absolutely love that colour. Collectors in Gloucestershire, Nicola in Essex, anonymous collector. It's gone. Good luck. Hold those lines, won't you? Hold those lines. We are going to bring you some Labradorite. Oh, we were just talking about Labradorite, weren't we? Oh my gosh, this.
Oh my word.
What a fabulous long strand. That's nearly a meter's length. Wow. Slight graduation. Not a massive graduation on these. Amazing labradorescence. I really hope this is coming down the camera lens to you. These look fab. 145 carats of labradorite, graduated faceted rondelles, 2x1 to 5x3mm on a 98 centimetre strand. Just ever such a slight graduation, but I've got to say, there's ultraviolet coming through here, there's pewter colour coming through here, there's a golden glow coming through. These are really lovely. Madagascar though, see? It's got to be my favourite location for beautiful labradorite.
Mine too. And that length of strand, I would think you probably have somewhere in the region of 6 bracelets by the time you've added a
easily.
little
I've just
connector
twisted all
in.
of that up, and that will go around the wrist. And look at all of that beautiful labradorescence that you get in there.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's going to go a long way, isn't it?
Really is. And like you, Madagascar is my favourite location for this gemstone.
It just produces the most outstanding labradorescence in so many different colours.
You do. It's a true Aurora Borealis in
Yeah,
there.
it really is. It is indeed. Absolutely glorious. 1995. Lots of stock on these ones. Please do make sure you're checking out and confirming. Please do. Again, I'm just going to drape them over the back of the hand because you can see. Now, if you're seeing it in the studio, believe me, when you get it home, you're going to go, my God, that's better than it was in the studio. Absolutely. You need to see this with your own eyes. You need to see it in that natural daylight as well. Really outstanding natural gemstone from the Feldspar family that is one of our phenomena gemstones as well, which is really, really lovely to have. Do make sure you're checking out and confirming, though. Again, very, very last of stock on that one. We're going to move on then to... Wow. Now, this is your birthstone this month. And they have a really deep, rich, proper mulberry colour. Now, that is every glass of Malbec, every glass of Burgundy, every glass of Pinot Noir that you have had. It is so rich and delicious. 240 carats of unenhanced Indian garnet, which means it's the state of Rajasthan that's produced it. 8mm, 38cm strand, and there's no graduation, so you've got that beautiful uniformity of size all the way through that beautiful strand. The colour is so deep. That's a lovely shape of garnet.
It is gorgeous to see in this nature. We often see tumble stones.
Yeah, we do.
We do see some of the faceted rondelles from time to time, but I love garnet in a smooth, polished round.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
It really does. And
Almost drinkable. Don't though, but you know, don't
please don't
drink
drink your garnet strand.
No.
But with the light behind it, teamed with gold, teamed with an aurora borealis coated Swarovski.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Because the light will reflect back through the garnet, illuminating it. Absolutely stunning gemstone.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? Do make sure you're checking out and confirming as soon as you possibly can on these. They are natural, they are enhanced. That's a lot of garnet for your money at $6.95. And again, thinking about the fact that it isn't a graduated strand, you do have that continuous 8mm throughout the entire strand. Make sure that you are checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Now, in the next hour, we've got our first kit with gem, of course. We were just talking about beautiful Swarovski sparkle just a second ago. We're going to be seeing a lot of that in our first kit. We've also got another bundle for you of wire coming as a star buy for you before that. And loads more still to come. Now, if you love your garnet and then you love your amethyst, please make sure you're watching us in the 9 o'clock hour, because we have got so many incredible amethyst cabochons to bring you as part of our second kit tonight. It's going to blow your mind. There's so much beautiful, 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 beautiful amethysts already in preparation for amethyst, of course, February's birthstone, for your makes for February. So do make sure you're staying tuned for that. We've got lots of sparkle in the Swarovskis, though, coming up. Now, if you are thinking about using, I'm just going to show you very, very quickly the drill hole that you've got there. Now you've got, that's a double strand that's going through there to start off with on the temporary strand that you've got. So it's a double strand that you've got going through there, but you can see straight away the quality of the drill hole and the ease of which that is going to be able to be used, isn't it?
Brilliant. When you've got the double strand going through, quite often that will then fit on the jewellery elastic.
Yes.
Because some of the smaller gemstones and some of the high-end
This would be
gemstones
amazing for a stretchy.
would be fantastic.
Wouldn't they?
And again, with Swarovski, to give that element of light shattering through a round polish, that would be amazing.
Really lovely idea. They would, and I have to say, I'm just going to do that actually, just drape them around, because I think the thought of having maybe a garnet stretch is probably, you know, when you think about your garnets, maybe you don't think about the possibility of being able to have them in a simple stretchy, because of course last time we saw them in this setting was beginning of September. So it's not often that we get a chance to see garnets in the round like that. Beautiful and glossy, very, very comfortable as well. So if you were pairing these maybe with charms, for example, or maybe if you were pairing these with the Swarovskis, just as of course Jem was saying, really beautiful, deep colours, rich colours, very, very durable, gorgeous gemstone as well. And one of the world's most well-known and precious ones as well. Hi to Cheryl and to Armin and to Liana. Hello to Bogner and Caroline. Hello to collectors in Tyne and Weir. Hello to Patricia. Hello to collectors in Kildare. Hello to Anna. Hello to Susanna. Well done indeed to you. Hello to Michelle. Please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming. Please do. Lovely to have your company. So next hour, just to reiterate for you, we've got the star buy for you on a wire bundle coming up for you. Then straight over to Jem for our first kit with Swarovski and wire and sparkle to die for. So do make sure you're staying tuned, and we'll see you in a second. Buying from Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When we bring an item to you, all the graphics come on screen, and this gives you all the information that you will need to know, from the item code to the product description with all of the key information. Then the price comes on, and whether you join at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price.
So, when you see an item that you would like to buy, simply pick up the phone and dial our free phone number and you'll get through to our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, you can join us at www.JewelleryMaker.com and start your jewellery making journey today. Jewellery Maker, the one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
Did you know, no matter how many times you purchase with Jewellery Maker in the same day, you'll only be charged one fee of postage and packaging. Select our standard delivery for just £2.95, or if you'd like to receive your goods sooner, upgrade to our premium option for £4.95. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. Jewellery Maker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
If for any reason you're not satisfied with your purchase, you have the benefit of our 30-day money-back guarantee.
Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When you spend £4.95 with us, you'll get a free welcome pack which contains everything you need to get started, including step-by-step project cards and a DVD which will give you the chance to be able to create an arrangement of different items of jewellery. You'll also get a manual which will help to familiarise you with all the items you're going to be creating and all the tools you're going to need to do so. Plus you'll also get a free pack of tools. These will be everything you need to get started. Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier, so why not give it a go today? You can now book Jewellery Maker workshops online. Just head over to our Jewellery Maker website and click on the workshop link. We have a wide range of workshops from beginner to intermediate, covering a variety of mediums. Once you've found a workshop you would like to attend, simply click on the Book Now button, fill in the required fields, and then press Continue. This will take you through to the payment page. If you have any questions, you can contact our workshop coordinator at any time by emailing workshop@jewellerymaker.com. We look forward to seeing you. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Welcome back to the Late Show. Gorgeous to have your company. With Gem, of course, we've got the fantastic kit coming up for you. But before that, double trouble. We have got for you, I'm going to just wing that your way, my darling, in a second. So we had 0.8 and 0.6 last night. Tonight we have your 0.4 double trouble. So you're getting 10 metres of the silver-plated round copper wire in the 0.4. It's your weaving wire. It is absolutely essential that you have this in your stash. It's got, if you're a wire worker, it is a must, isn't it?
Most definitely. You can crochet with it as well. You can tie your framework together. You can anchor gemstones into frames. So many things you can do with it.
Can you macrame with the 0.4?
I have not tried.
Okay.
Not really the person to ask with your wire macrame. Mark is probably somebody who would know the answer to that. But when you're getting 2 lots of 10 metres in a double trouble, it's worth giving it a try.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm sure if any of our guest designers are watching this evening, they'll be winging in a message now for us going yes or no. So, guest designer, if you're watching, can you macrame with a 0.4, please?
You can certainly crochet with it.
You can certainly crochet with it. Can you macrame with it? Answers on a postcard, please. No, don't send a postcard. That takes ages. You know what the post is like in this place, but if you could wing us in a message, that would be great. That'd be beautiful. Do make sure you're checking out on these. They are an essential stash. $4.95. Absolutely essential. For those of you who got the 0.8s and the 0.6s, of course, last night, you need to be adding these to your stash as soon as you possibly can. 0800 644 655 if you want to add those to your order today. If you've already bought, of course, with the morning show and the mid show, it means that your order's already open. This from Anila, who says, I have used a 0.4 macrame and it worked well. Thanks, Anila. Really appreciate you taking the time to message in, my lovely. Thank you, lovely. So that's Anila saying yes, and Anila is with us most nights. Thanks, Anila. Really appreciate your company as well. Do make sure you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. We've got the champagne. I love this colour wire.
Ooh.
It is a beaut.
It is. It's sort of softly reassuring.
It's not. I did say about champagne last night stuff. I'm not going to repeat, to be honest with you, because I got into trouble about that from my team, and I was just. It's just a saying. It's just a saying. They were a little bit horrified. What I was saying about champagne and Prosecco last night. We've got, it's my favourite colour wire that we do. This and the pearl and the antique bronze, I would be difficult to choose my favourite, but I think that the champagne wire just tops it. It is gorgeous. There is a really soft aurorous glow to this beautiful champagne gold coloured wire. It's the silver plated copper wire, of course, that you've got. It's a 0.4 and again, an amazing price. Without a doubt, it is one of our guest designers' favourites, I would say. That and the antique bronze, I think, is well and truly up there, isn't it?
Most definitely. Antique bronze is one of my favourites, and this is so good with every other colour wire you can imagine. So use it with your heavier gauges of the champagne gold, or mix and match.
Yeah, definitely. It's not too over the top, is it? It just blends in beautifully, no matter what sort of colour wire you're going with.
Definitely.
Now, you've got the 2 reels, so it means that you are getting 20 metres. And of course, do make sure that you're checking out again if you already have your stash on the go tonight. Just add it for $2.95. You've got to add that to your order. Surely you've got to add that to your order for under £3. It is brilliant, isn't it?
That's outstanding.
Amazing, that's outstanding value.
Absolutely fantastic.
For the 2 reels. $2.95. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can, though, on those. Please do. Really important that you do. Again, we can always revisit any of these sort of deals for you, but when you're doing a deal of $2.95, you've got to make sure that you are checking out and confirming. Most of our collectors are multi-buying on this opportunity. That's not surprising, is it? That is not surprising. $2.95, definitely. For under £3, that is a stash must-have.
I totally agree. You never have too much of your 0.4,
no.
and it is such a lovely colour to work with.
Yeah, and I imagine that works beautifully with the antique bronze. If you had like an antique bronze foundation wire, sort of your structural wire, and then use the champagne gold over it, that must be a gorgeous combo of colour.
It is perfect, but also with your rose gold or your hot copper, looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Gorgeous stuff. Make sure you're checking out our new. Hello, Kelly. Hello to Sandra. Oh, so many of you multi-buying. Hi, Marion, multi-buying as well. Patricia, Francis, and Aberdeenshire multi-buying. Well done indeed to you. Hi to Kelly in Belfast, to Janet, to Leslie, not Kelsey. I do apologise. Kate in Dorset, Anonymous Collectors, Sandra, Susanna. Well done indeed to you. Yvonne, Cheryl, Elizabeth. Hold those lines. Hold those lines. Now, it is kit time. Thank you, sweets. These are, we've got 2 reels of wire, a different tone than we've just seen. We'll look at that in a sec, just in a sec. But let's look. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait a second. Wait a second. Just going to get rid of that fingerprint. Have you got a favourite? It's hard to pick, isn't it?
Genuinely, I love them all, and the reason is the gemstones that they connect in my mind with.
Yes, that they are associated with, that they imitate.
Yeah, most definitely. And the shapes are pure perfection. Every single cut that you get with a Swarovski piece like this is identical.
It is. I mean, it's factory made. It's factory cut. It's machine cut, which is why. And you know, and there is something incredibly beautiful and incredibly enticing and incredibly appealing about having something that is being cut by hand because of the skill and the intelligence and everything. And that's why our gemstones, I think, are so lush. But Swarovski do, and they do well, what you'd have to have, you know, either sell a kidney for or take out a second mortgage or win the lottery for.
Can you imagine that large marquise shape?
Yeah.
As an eye clean E-grade
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
diamond.
You would be hard pressed to find anything like that. For me, it's the cyan, which looks like the most incredible ruby or even red spinel that would belong in the crown jewels. It's that outstanding, isn't it?
Most definitely.
And this, I mean, I know this green here, and when you look at this, and I don't know if you can see how incredibly powerful the sort of viridian colour is here. This green is wowzers. Okay, so this is it. The green that you've got is called fern green. If money was no object and you could buy, I'd say what, a 5 carat eye clean chrome diopside without actually having to take out a second mortgage, that is what it would look like. If you were lucky enough to find a chrome diopside of 5 carats, eye clean, cut to perfection, immaculate, it would look like that. I know it says fern green. For me, that imitates a world-class chrome diopside, isn't it?
It's exactly where my heart was going. You've got that Mogok ruby, you've got a Siberian chrome diopside. I don't even know where to start with the almost imperial colour.
But that you've just hit it on the head there. It does. It looks like an immaculate imperial topaz. The first ever gemstone that I bought from Gemporia many, many moons ago, when I first, well, before I even stepped foot in that building, because obviously I had friends who were working there already, sort of Lynn and Rod and Ange and Nick. But the first piece of jewellery I ever bought through Gemporia when they first started, so you're talking what, 14-ish years ago now, was a 7 carat imperial topaz in white gold.
Wow.
Now, it is, I should say it was amazing. It was amazing, and it was that colour.
Yes.
And that is the colour that I had of a genuine imperial topaz. It was mesmerising. So they do remind you of immaculate, world-class, real gemstones. We've got to remember that they're not. They are imitation, and that's okay, and that's fine, because Swarovski is a very, very well-known name, and they do it very, very well indeed. So you've got those 3 incredibles, and they are at slightly different sizes. The red and the green that you've got there, the cyan and the fern green, they are the same size and shape. Then you've got that beauty, and it is a stunning sort of, look at that.
It's glorious, absolutely glorious. It's so warm. It's like champagne with just a drop of blackberry at the bottom.
It is beautiful, isn't it? So you've got the baguette, which is called light smoked topaz. You've got the Aurora Borealis wide navette. You've got the cyan chunky pear, and you've got the fern green. They're both 18 by 13. So you've got the 4 beautiful Swarovskis. Then you have, gosh, that's weighty, isn't it?
There's plenty on it, that's
Blimey,
why.
Charlie, there's loads in there. Right, then we've got your 2 spools of wire. Now, you'll notice straight away that this has a really, really rich golden tone to it.
I always think of this one as the Midas gold.
Yes, it is definitely Midas gold, isn't it? It really is. You've got 50 metres of the 0.8 gold-plated copper wire and 50 metres of the 0.4 gold-plated copper wire. So you've got there an awful lot of wire. You really, really have. So you've got a huge amount of 50 metres of wire plus the 4 Swarovskis ranging in different size and colour, $24.95, and a massive amount of work that you've put into, and glorious pendants. Really, absolutely glorious.
I love making pendants. I can't help myself. I sometimes struggle and think, really, I should make a ring this time. Really, I should make a brooch this time. And my heart lies with making pendants.
Well, to be fair, last time you had Swarovskis, it was all about the cocktail rings, wasn't it?
It was indeed. So I have.
Yeah. So again, it's nice to be able to see you putting those Swarovskis in a beautiful pendant for us as well on the neckline.
They're so alluring when you have something with that sparkle and attraction of a Swarovski. Particularly for us ladies, I obviously can't speak for the gentlemen amongst us, but to have that as a focal point,
I know, Ben would quite like
draws
one.
the eye. Ben is the kind of chap who would wear a gold velvet jacket.
Oh, yeah.
And I think possibly this diopside
rocking a
green,
Swarovski.
Yeah, definitely. Would go well with that.
Definitely. What are you going to show us, my darling?
The smaller of all of the Swarovskis, people are often a little bit awed by.
Okay.
Now, because these are foil backed, they will work beautifully in your cerulean. And
okay, good
potentially
idea.
some
Lovely.
of your other clay designs.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the firing of foil-backed Swarovskis in silver clay, so you would need to research that further. But certainly it will work beautifully in your cerulean designs, because that foil on the back will just elevate that sparkle, and it's not interrupted by the matteness of the clay as it dries.
Beautiful radiant cut that is as well. To be fair to them, they have cut it beautifully. Okay, so there it is. I can see what you mean. It would be a little bit of a fiddler, I think, to sort of try and set. So you're going to take us through how to get over that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm going to show a very, very simple beginning design, which anybody, even those who are new to wirework, will be able to kind of reach in and get hold of.
Fab, fab, fab.
Now, we're going to be working with just the 0.8mm gauge, and with this, we're just going to kind of run it between our fingers and possibly in a jewellery cloth, not your t-shirt. And that'd
be nice if we had a jewellery cloth here.
They all have disappeared. I don't quite know where they went to.
I don't even know if we had them, did we?
We did at some point. I'm just going to trim the end off where it was caught on the plastic section of the spool.
Yep, okay.
That tends to get a bit kinked, so we just sort of reserve that for scrap.
Okie dokie.
And then I've already made a start here, just to practice and remind myself what I was going to show you. So I'm just going to leave that on that end, but that's what we're looking to achieve. A little coil followed by a couple of bends, and that is how simple it is to start this design off.
Okay.
So if you'll excuse me for just a second, I'm just going to remove my shirts from vision, because I think that it's quite long and it could be a bit distracting.
Okay, my lovely.
And I'll just remove that from the other end, I think.
I was going to say, we'll be able to see your beautiful, gorgeous ambers there in full swing.
Well,
gorgeous.
I'm feeling a little bit under the weather at the moment, so I've gone for some beautiful jadeite to keep me safe, and some beautiful amber to just help me feel grounded and
gorgeous. Lovely stuff.
So the first thing we're going to do is, as I say, you warm the wire slightly, and that gives you a little bit more flexibility. We're going to start off with a coil. You see, we're going to start quite close with the tip of some round nose pliers, and if you are new to Jewellery Maker, your Get Started with Jewellery Making kit comes out to you with your very first order if you spend £4.95.
Yeah, that is correct.
Good.
Indeed.
Just checking my details. And you'll get a pair of round nose pliers in your kit, amongst many other wonderful things.
Excuse me.
So I've started off a little loop in the centre there with the round nose pliers. I'm now going to put these down and switch to some flat facing pliers. I tend to use these for everything, but any flat facing pliers will do. And we're just going to do another couple of circuits. Try and hold that out of the way so it doesn't confuse the issue. And just create a lovely little coil to start us off with. Now this is what is going to sit at the bottom of the pendant to stop it from falling into the space below.
Okay.
So once we've got ourselves a little loop, and what I tend to do is one coil, two coils, and my wire is coming away at the point where it started. I hope you can see that.
Yep.
And then we're just going to draw that up at a right angle.
Lovely.
So we're bringing that away, making sure that that's nice and in position. One of the things that I do tend to do with this particular design is grip that coil and put a delicate curve just on that front section, for which I use 2 pairs of pliers. So I'm moving in with a second. These are a broad flat. I tend to think of them as chisel nose pliers. And I'm just going to put a bend. You can see there's a gap between the 2 pairs of pliers, and I've just put a little curve there, and that's going to capture the bottom of that Swarovski and stop it from falling down. Okay, smash him. So the next thing we need to do, we're going to come up about 4 or 5 millimetres on this straight line that's coming away from that curved coil. I'm just going to push that over. I'll show you that's come away at an angle. And what we're going to do is just test and see how that sits, because we might need to make that little upright a little bit more upright. Now I'm going to get fingerprints all over this, so forgive.
That's okay.
That's going to look quite neat and tidy in there. So you can see that little lip at the front stops the Swarovski from moving forwards, and the coil is going to stop it from moving downwards. So I can see that that's not quite at 90 degrees to that coil. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a tweak with the pliers, just by something just randomly threw itself across the studio. Forgive me.
All the amethysts.
The amethysts are tussling for position, so you can see now that it's coming up more at 90 degrees to that coil. So what I'm going to do is just pop the, what was this shape described as?
It comes up as the baguette, but it's definitely it's a radiant cut baguette.
A radiant baguette. And Becky says she'd love a baguette right about now. I quite fancy one with a lot of shredded iceberg in it. That's just me.
I'm not a massive fan of salad in bread. I love bread, but I can't eat it, so there we go.
No, I tend to not be able to.
Can't.
So.
Really disagrees with me.
Oh, bless you. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Doesn't agree with my
Oh
pancreas.
no, I sometimes do. I sometimes do because I love bread. Is gorgeous, isn't it? But it's not. It's just not good for you. It's not. Anyway, we digress. We digress. Let's go back.
Could always go for a hearty rye.
It's a beautiful baguette, radiant cut Swarovski.
So we're going for this radiant baguette, and we're just going to pop that in and size things up. And you can see that after about 2 or 3 millimeters of turning left, we're going to pop the pliers into position and draw that up towards me. And now what we're doing is we're creating a little basket for this little Swarovski to sit in. Can you see that how that's going to sit inside? What I might do is flip that around and have the coil at the back and see whichever way that's going to sit more perfectly. So that looks quite pretty in of itself. So we're just going to measure now, turning that sideways, at what point we will need to make our next bend, because what we're basically doing is looping around.
Okay.
Now, if this was a piece of metal, I would encourage you to simply drag that wire all the way around it. This is a piece of Swarovski and we're going to treat it with respect. So I'm going to come back in with my pliers and put another bend in, and we're going to start creating a little basket for this baguette.
Okay.
So you can see how that's already starting to work. So instead of going in a straight line, we want this to come slightly elevated.
Okay.
So I'm just going to open that out. And the reason is, our next move is to create another bend to come upwards towards the front of the crystal. So if I switch positions again, offer my pliers in, take an educated guess whereabouts that's going to go, and draw up. So we're creating a basket, pop that little baguette back in, and you can see that actually I probably wanted that a little bit closer. So what I'm going to do is, because this is a round wire and it's really nice, can you see I'm just going to draw that a little bit closer just to edit where that bend is. Try dropping your baguette back into position. There we go. And you can see that actually that is going to work quite nicely. But what we do want to do is just reiterate this bend at the back before we move back in with the pliers and continue wrapping our baguette. And really, all we're going to do is repeat that exact same process until we get to the top. And if I just draw the piece into camera shot on the overhead, you will be able to see.
The colour looks, it just works beautifully. The colour wire does work beautifully with that Swarovski.
It certainly does. It's absolutely gorgeous together. So we're going almost like an adverse helter-skelter, going upwards instead of downwards, finishing with a bend up to the top, and then created a wrapped loop in here. After I did my wrapped loop, I felt it looks pretty, but I want to enhance this. So I popped a faux open bezel and just went sort of sideways from the top, out 90 degrees down, 90 degrees across, 90 degrees back up, wrapped around my wrapped loop and repeated. So it really is very simple design, and you can keep building that up if you want to have ever so many.
So are they separate pieces of wire, Hun? Or did you
one piece of wire.
So you continued all the way through on that one piece of wire?
All the way round.
Fab. Can I have a look at it?
Yes, by all means do.
Very cleverly done. I love the way that it is just that one piece, because it just gives such a lovely clean line throughout it all, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous. It looks just like it's been draped with liquid silk. So you may find that you need to just sort of tweak the wire a little bit just to get that to sit perfectly for you. but you will be able to kind of recreate the same sort of thing. So go across the front, down the side, across the back, up to the front again, and then a right angle up to form that wrapped loop, which acts as our bail.
Just going to pop it there.
Yes, please do.
It's nice, isn't it?
Looks nice in the
Feels lovely.
sub-jobby thingy.
The sub-jobby thingy.
I can't remember.
Supersternum.
The supersternal notch. I knew it was a notch. Super, I don't know. The neck bit.
That bit on the neck. Yeah, it feels lovely as well.
But if there are any questions...
Yeah, absolutely. Just wing them in to us.
Give
Well,
me
I
a
say
shout.
to us. If you've got your questions about your gemstones and your precious metals, then I'm your gal. But anything... Oh, Welsh words. Welsh words or fitness. That's fine as well. Health and fitness, you can ask me about that as well. But if... how do we stop eating? Can't lose 1 stone in 2 weeks. Stop it.
Oh, gosh.
But if you've got any questions about your jewellery making, gems, your girl, and you see with us all the way through until 10 o'clock tonight. So please do get your messages in to us. That's fab. I love that. I love the fact that it was 1 piece of wire.
Yes.
Really do love that.
It's also just 1 gauge of 1 piece of wire, so super, super simple. Little loop at the bottom, put a curve in it, that acts as your cup for the bottom, and then just wrap as many times as you feel fit, embellish it however you want to.
Question.
Yes.
Could you do that for the marquise shape as well? Would you be able to do that base if you were to sort of form that base a little bit? Would it hold?
You would be able to, but you would need to create a circle of a loop and then press the centre of the loop down with a round nose pliers.
Of course,
so
to create that
sort of
space.
pushes down.
Yes, that's a good point.
And then that will give you a nice sort
Almost
of
nest.
baskety. Nest is a nicer way of putting it. Basket, back to the basket.
Put it in the basket. Please, fabulous stuff. Do make sure you're checking out your baskets, of course. Basket. $24.95 on your screen. Fabulous sparkle. Now, very, very quickly, what I do want to do is I want to show you the kit later on. Would you mind? I know is this. I'm asking you literally now. It's like asking
Hold on,
you.
I'm just going to make sure. Stay.
It's just thanks, my lovely. I love that. I love how they're all stuck on there. It's amazing, isn't it?
I'm just going to pass that over to you.
Don't I drop everything? Can hear Kerry already going, oh goodness me, don't give it to her. We've got, oh, look at how many cabochons you're getting later. So many amethysts.
I've been so excited about this.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking to myself now, you could make a tile like that and mosaic it in a bathroom. Can you imagine having an amethyst tile?
You could set it in resin. Couldn't you?
Gorgeous.
That would be amazing.
Love it.
You've seen people that used the pennies to make a floor and then wax sealed it.
Amazing.
Looks just beautiful.
In a barber shop. There's one in London, I've been to it.
Okay.
In a barber shop in London that have done that.
I've seen one in late Victorian house, a terrace, and struck the front with a bay window and just the whole floor. And I think she described as what am I doing? Because it took quite a lot of thinking.
Oh, and time. My goodness, and collection of the pennies, quite frankly.
True.
Quite effective, though. This is coming up later. All the cabochons of amethyst that you could possibly desire. So many of them, plus 2 spools of wire. You're going to get 50 metres of the 0.4, and you're going to get 10 metres of the 0.8. So this is coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. 9 o'clock. Please, if you're thinking to yourself, right, I've got to have all those gorgeous cabochons, I've got to have all those amethysts, please make sure you're joining us for that opportunity at 9, because there's not a huge amount of bundles to go around, okay? So please do make sure that you're joining us. They are gorgeous.
They're stunning, absolutely stunning. I might keep them next to me if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do that. Listen, I'm going to go back over there because we've got a fabulous star by. I didn't just drop one thing. I dropped 24 things on the floor. And can I just say, bless Gem, she's literally jumped off a chair, dun 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 dun, and just come over. There's a lot of jump rings on the floor. Don't try and pick up all of those. I don't know what to say other than I am so sorry. It's kind of everywhere. There's well, I don't really, well, just, I'm really sorry. There is an awful lot of mess everywhere. This is live. Can we edit this bit out? What do you reckon? The thing is, you could be scooping stuff up now that isn't from this hour, because it's stuff that's been here for days.
Has anybody got a dustpan?
Has anybody got a hoover with a sock on the end of it? And there is method in my madness with that. Oh, goodness. Do you know... That wouldn't happen if it was Vicky Carr. That's all I can say. Do you know what I mean? She's a professional. I'm so sorry, everybody. Just... Can we please watch, Gem? Bless her. I know. Thanks. Literally, you just sprung into action then, where I just stood here and went, I dropped a lot of things. We just heard this bang, and then you turn around and you go, oh. I didn't swear then, and you didn't swear either. Aren't we good? Live TV. So, beautiful chain, yeah? Okay, let's do that. Oh, Gem, my lovely. Where's Sam gone? She's on a break, just as well. Right, I'm going to push that in there. I'm just going to stand here and bring some Hi. Hi. We are human. Some of us are a little bit more special human than the others. Oh, what are you doing? Came in from the kitchen, you're on the floor, Angela. I knocked a whole hour of stuff on the floor. A whole hour of Jewellery Maker on the floor. Bless you. Love you. What troopers. You're all like, hey girls, what happened? You didn't see you both on the floor. Yeah, dropped a lot of stuff. Look at all these messages, Anila. Let's continue the show from floor level. Oh, you just... Anyway, chain. If you're thinking, Gem's still there. What? She's the trooper. Thanks, babes. She's so good. Literally leaped off the chair to rescue all of the Jewellery Maker goodies. And I just I was still carrying the chair. I was still carrying the chair and I just heard this bang. And I thought, oh no. And then Ben went, ha ha ha. That was the thing. It was Ben's laugh. I thought, oh, that's the whole hour on the floor, isn't it? The whole hour of Jewellery Maker goodies on the floor. Chain. 1 metre of solid sterling silver Rolo chain. Oh my goodness me. You've got a beautiful reel of durable solid sterling silver chain. 2 mil links. 1 metre chain. Comes to you on the spool all wound up. But it is an absolute... I can't even do this seriously while Gem is still busy tidying and cleaning on the floor. Gem, bless you. You are actually picking up every jump ring. Somebody deserves a medal, quite frankly. A medal. Not me, no. No, P45's in the post. 0800 644 655 if you'd like to get your hands on that beautiful solid sterling silver. And it's durable, it's beautiful to work with. It really does elevate your jewellery to another level. I'd love to ask Jem for her opinion, but she's down on the floor picking up jump rings, so I can't. 0800 644 655. Make sure you join us at JewelleryMaker.com as well. Are we sure we can't edit all of that bit out? What are we reckoning? It's gonna go, it'll go on there, it'll be on repeated as well, and it'll be forever there on YouTube. Brilliant, brilliant. Oh my goodness me. Gram weight, 6.8 grams of solid sterling silver in total throughout the entire chain. Definitely usable and workable when it is that you are you're creating your beautiful cascade earrings, bracelets, your gorgeous sort of tassels with your solid sterling silver work, and plenty of space to still pop head pins through there with your gemstones if you were going to maybe rosary link them or maybe just wire loop them through that with your silver wire. Thank you, Jem, you absolute star. She's like, I don't know if it's on my, it doesn't matter. It's not on the floor, that's all that matters. Thank you, sweetheart, very much indeed. Trooper. Should be $26.95 in total. Should be $26.95. Gonna take £10 off that for you tonight. 0800 644 655. 6.8 grams of solid sterling silver, 1 metre chain. $16.95 on your screens tonight for you if you wanted to add that to your stash. There's not enough space behind the desk to carry chairs back and forth. Hashtag just saying. No. It's very narrow. It's very narrow behind here. For the base of the chair is wide. Oh, those lines towards the call centre. Jem, what a hero. She so is, Becky. She so is. Literally leapt off there. Don't worry, my lovely. We're all one big family. We feel your pain. Oh, Denise. Carol, goodie bags of floor sweepings. New line. Oh, you won't lift this one down. I know. No, I won't. The girls are literally, that's it now. Noted, time, date. It will be put on Facebook, I'm sure. Later, I'll get home later and literally Kerry will have just tagged me in something to do with that and I'll be like, No, I don't mean that. No. You do. Mostly, most of the time you tag me in things about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which is a very lovely, it's a lovely. Oh my goodness, it was. Anytime. 0800 644 655. Oh, thanks all. You're all so lovely. Accidents happen. You should definitely do a JM blooper show at the end of the year. It would be a hoot. There would be so many of them. There would be so many of them. And mostly with me dropping things. And saying, try... I don't remember saying that. I don't remember saying that yesterday at all. You're going to find it. Apparently I said something. I mispronounced it yesterday and it came out all right. I don't remember that bit. I do remember mispronouncing nib bits. I do remember that. I do. No, I haven't watched that back. No, but I do remember saying it. Yes. And the seedlings faux pas. Within the first 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes, I said. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They were lovely as well. Oh, honestly, people. There is a box now, but you're just going to have to shout what you would like. Thank goodness they weren't out of the box. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if these... Oh my gosh, the mic's fallen down. Oh my gosh. Somebody distressed me as well. Crikey, O'Reilly, honestly. Oh, goodness me. When's the professional presenter coming back? You've got Lucy on Wednesday. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Lucy's with you Wednesday. Normal service will resume. You'll have all the professionalism you can shake a big stick at, I promise. Sea foam green seed beads. I'm so glad that these weren't out of the pot. Natalie, oh, poor Gem. It's Gem I feel sorry for. She was like, boom, boom, springing into action, like a coiled spring she was. I'm very, very glad that these weren't out in a pot, is all I can say. Oh my goodness.
I'd still be there tomorrow morning, I think.
Oh my goodness me. And the next day. We've got size 15s. They're a galvanised sea green. So they've got that beautiful metallic finish there. They're the Duracoat as well, of course. You are getting an 8.2 gram tube. Please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming as soon as you can on these. Again, you've got a bright, it's a beautiful green. This is one of those colours that has, without a doubt, when any of our amazing guest designers who kind of, you know, everybody has their forte, everybody has their speciality. So somebody like Joe or Jill, for example, with your seed beading. When you've got this in a kit, it's one of the most exciting kits. You get the colour, the seafoam green, has rocked our guest designers world in 2017. Definitely the colour of the year, I would say, for your sea beads. $3.95 on your screen. $3.95 for the tube of seed beads that you're getting. Very, very last of stock on these, so please do make sure you're checking out. You can dial us on 0800 644 655, of course, and you can do this online and via the app. Hold those lines. Very last of stock on those. Going to move on then to... Right. What size? I'm going to assume that that's the pot that went all over the floor, shall we? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is the pot that fell all over the floor, and this is the pot that lovely Gem has picked up. There's other stuff in this pot, Gem, from the floor, but we're not going to worry about that, are we?
Sorry, I let you down.
No, absolutely not. I'm the letdown. Don't you worry about that. We've got your beautiful rose gold coloured brass open jump rings. These have only been in a kit. They've never been outside of a kit on their own. You get 200. As you can see, 200 did leave the pot. Yeah, that's okay. You'll get 200, don't you worry about that. You're getting a 6mm jump ring. 0800 644 655 for 200 rose gold coloured brass open jump rings. You're looking at $4.95 for those. And again, just thinking about how far, again, with so many jump rings, I think Fleur says on average looking at around about 150 per 7-inch bracelet for your chainmail. So with over 200 in there, you are kind of looking at a full-on bracelet. There's so many messages coming in. Oh my goodness. 0800 644 655. This is from an anonymous customer who says, forget the professionalism, it's the gaffs and the foibles that warm our hearts and raise a smile. Love you, Ray. Oh, bless, that's really kind. Ray, sweetie, wouldn't have you any other way. Gem, you're a legend, loving the show, funny. Love Gina and Joyce. Oh, bless you. Oh, you're so kind, honestly, you really will. Gem, I know, bless you. You really are very, very lovely, bless you. $4.95 on your screen for those 200 pieces. Do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Lots of you multi-buying. Sandra's multi-buying on the channel ads, and Neela's multi-buying. Collectors in Sussex, Kimmy in Hampshire, collectors in Dorset. Well done indeed to you. Hi Leslie, hi Alison, anonymous collector. Oh, loads of you on the phone lines have just hit your button 1. Gorgeous. Press your button 1, talk to the call centre. Speak to the call centre, of course, let them know. Don't just phone and go, ah. She just dropped everything on the floor. If you are adding these to your order, do remember, of course, you're only paying 1 shipping and handling charge for the entire day and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Well done. So now, the next ones we've got, we're staying with jump rings for a sec. And these are, now we had some larger size red jump rings last night. These are the 5mm. I think we had, was it 7 or 9mm? Either 7 or 9mm we had last night, wasn't it? These are such a gorgeous colour. We were talking last night about working with these on the run up to Valentine's Day, of course. It is a bright, proper, passionate red that you're getting here. A really bright, oh, it is coming down the camera lens, actually. I'm going to just tilt them to you just there so you can see. Now, they've only been available for you before in a bundle. You're going to get them on their own, just the 5mm, 200 pieces. Now, as much as that shows off the colour, in the studio, they have a lovely sheen, a really lovely, like, proper sheen that you're getting on there. If you love the baby pink ones that we had for you last night, you're going to love these. Red coloured copper, open jump rings, 5mm in diameter, 200 in the pot, all coming away for one amazing price point, 0800 644 605, under £5 at £4.95. £4.95 on your screen, and they have got a gorgeous amount of vibrant, vivid red. Yeah, obviously, you're looking at a colour here that is very, very much associated with the festive season that's just been and gone. But now as we look ahead into 2018, we're looking at, maybe it's just that you love your reds, you love that vibrant, vivid scarlet, which is brilliant. You're looking on the run at making sort of pieces maybe for Valentine's Day. That's not a problem either. £4.95 is all you're paying for that beautiful colour. 200 of them in the pack at 5mm. They're lovely, love those a lot. You could use them sparingly, you can use them in one full-on piece of jewellery. If you were using those in a full-on piece of jewellery, that's a big block of colour, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And you could do some of the little starburst shapes in just the red and then lead away in the different colours. Nice. And I think mixing those with the rose gold colour that we just had would be really beautiful as well, because it's quite a contrast. Yeah. So there's lots of things that you can do with them, or just throw them all in one and have the most vibrant chainmail bracelet ever.
And it would be as well. It really, really would. That red is glowing. It really is. I don't know whether that's coming down the camera lens to you, but I hope it does. Right, next one that we've got for you. Make sure you're checking out on those. Yes. Now, these are like a little rondelle spacer. Really, really sparkly, actually. Have a look at these. These are pretty. Really pretty. When you see the sparkle, it almost looks as if it's sort of diamond encrusted. You're getting 30 in the pack. 30 in the pack. It's got a really decent size drill hole, actually. They would work beautifully on your jewellery elastic, actually. You know, sometimes the spacer hole is just that it just won't pass through that, the jewellery elastic won't pass through because of the actual drill hole size through it is too small. Yeah, that's a really decent size, isn't it?
They would be beautiful. Imagine with the 8mm garnets that we had. Oh, because again, the reflection between that depth would be gorgeous. Reds, really stunning combination, and both go on the elastic.
Absolutely fab, and the quickest return, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yes, I mean, you don't have to use these all in one piece. How many are there? 30 in the pack. There may not be 30 in the pot, for which I apologise.
No, that's okay. That's all right. But you will get 30 at home. Don't you worry about that.
But you
will get 30.
Just have your 3 at the centre of your beads, or you could have them every other bead. You know, there's lots of different ways that you can intersperse them.
Definitely.
People love having sparkly. Oh, they're gorgeous. Yeah, very, very vibrant for the size. The impact is huge. Definitely. So I think you could utilise that in sort of number-specific jewellery. Say you've got 5 members of your family, have 5 of those with your beads on an elastic.
Idea. Really nice idea. £9.95 for those. And again, they're just like that little rondelle. If you see, we're classing them as saucers, but they're almost like a little rondelle, if you see. Not quite a round. Just kind of a little bit more sort of squished. They're really like a flat sort of just flattened round, which gives the appearance of a beautiful rondelle. So if you were working with these with rondelles, they'd mimic the shape of the rondelles that we have for you on your strands as well. 0800 644 655, number that needs to be done if you want to add those to your order. We have got some really beautiful, just some very unusual way of dealing with Tanzanite next for you. I'm going to pop those back in. Right, bear with me a second. They might be here. What did you say it was? Oh, no, they're here. Got them. They were hiding. They're here. They are. Now, it's not often we get a chance to see Tanzanite like this. We get to see it in rondelles, we get to see it in faceted rondelles, we get to see it in nuggets. Last night we saw, I think it was the rough nuggets that we saw last night. These, oh God, look at the colour on these. These are fabulous. violet blues. And they are a proper violet blue. Now, when you go to look at the colour grading scale for the GIA, the last colour in the descriptive of the colour is the main body of colour. So I would call this a violet blue, okay? You may be sat at home saying, well, I think that they're a little bit more blue. They might be in certain lights. You've got a gorgeous, gorgeous depth of colour. Really beautiful. Some of those are very, very large. In fact, the largest on the strand is a centimetre in size. Now you've got a 19 centimetre strand of Tanzanite here. It's the very, very last of stock. Oh, you're already on the phone lines for this. Please do make sure you're checking out and confirming. It is your genuine Tanzanite. $82.95 is the price that you would be looking at. Now, bearing in mind, okay, these are going to go under £50. I have seen, and I'm sure you have as well, just simply set Tanzanites like this. They call it lavender Tanzanite in some stores and some shopping networks, where it's been set in silver like this, literally just almost sort of treated as a cabochon with silver around it for £99 for one.
Ooh, hiss.
For one. You've got the entire strand for under 50. They are quite spectacular. Greater Manchester, well done. One of those last of stock is yours. Anonymous collectors, you've pressed your button 1. Some of those are now yours. We've got 9 strands remaining in our warehouse. That's it. I've not seen, apart from the cabochons that are set in the silver that we had for you last night, last of stock on those ready-made connectors and pendants, I've not seen Tanzanite looking like this here at JM. They are massive sizes, really quite extraordinary sizes, but do make sure that you're checking out and confirming if you're falling in love with them. Collectors in Sussex, Swansea, Tyne and Wear, anonymous collectors, well done indeed to you. Norfolk, congratulations. Greater Manchester, well done. London and the West Midlands, you're there. All you need to do now is check it out. Talk to the call centre. We should be at £82 for this strand. They are beautiful. The colours are fantastic. Really looking at some gorgeous colour there. Some lovely sort of moments of diaphanity in that strand as well. Now, obviously, every strand is going to be different. Every strand is going to have that unique, beautiful violet blue running through it. Check it out as soon as you can. Last few strands there for you. Hold those lines. Hold those lines. Now, I've got a star buy coming up for you next. I've got it here. Yeah, I've got it. Some beautiful lapis lazuli coming. Oh, this is glorious. You're going to love this. That pyrite that runs through these, outstanding. Star buy next. Lapis lazuli, a beautiful gemstone, a genuinely gorgeous gemstone. Vibrant, vivid, but powerful at the same time. Why is it powerful? That colour is powerful. That colour is regal. It brings status to you. It's a sort of the wear of the gemstone as well. When we look back to the sort of Egyptian era, of course, it was known as the most precious gemstone, up there with carnelian, worn by the pharaohs and queens of Egypt and adored and really quite revered. You can see why. How glossy, how beautifully intense, how wonderfully vivid is that regal blue. Now, these haven't been on your screen since August. So you are looking at, and again, thinking about what it is that you're getting here, you know, you're looking at some really sizable individual lapis lazulis. 38 centimetre strand. 18 by 13. I've got on this strand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 individual beautiful lapis lazuli on this strand. Now I'm going to just take the one of them and just, in fact, let me just show you this sort of cascade of 3 here, just to show you the difference. Can you see that little sparkle of sort of pyrite gold, yeah, just running through? Now that runs not just on the surface of the lapis lazuli, but all the way through those lapis lazuli. It is inherent in the makeup of your lapis lazuli because the pyrite forms in the lapis lazuli crystal. A little bit like sometimes when you see peridot as an inclusion in a diamond, because peridot, of course, and diamonds form deep beneath the ground in the same location, of course, travel up the kimberlite pipes together. So sometimes you get peridot as an inclusion in diamond. Well, the pyrite forms in the same area, of course, as your lapis lazuli, and embeds itself into the crystal of the lapis lazuli. So it's inherent. It's not put on afterwards. It's not spray painted on. It is inherent to the makeup of that lapis lazuli, and it's gorgeous. It's like looking at a beautiful intergalactic skyline. It's absolutely gorgeous. You've got an 18 by 13 mil center drilled puffy oval all the way through that strand, 260 carats, under £5. Wow. Under £5, even with just putting a head pin through there, a wrapped loop, and wearing that as a pendant. You've got 22 individual pendants just on that beautiful strand alone. But what a colour! As we're coming out towards, you know, mid-January, and you're looking ahead and you're looking through into 2018, you know, it was freezing. We left here last night, it was so cold when we left the building last night. But again, you start thinking about, you know, you look on Instagram, you start looking at your friends going to, you know, lovely winter, summer holidays, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, winter sun holidays, I should say. And you're thinking, oh, we all just want a little bit of warmth now, don't we? This is that vibrant colour. This is that big block of colour that brings that home. It is gorgeous. £4.95 for that entire strand. Hi Patricia, hi Jane, hi Lynn, hi Mary. Hello to Ruth and Rachel and Cheryl. Cuts in Dorset, well done indeed to you. Cuts in Renfrewshire, Susan, Diane, Tatiana, Francis, Anonymous Collectors, well done indeed to you. Michelle, well done. Loads of you on the phone lines as well. Gorgeous to see you tonight. Thank you ever so much for staying tuned. We've got lots to squeeze in for you in the next hour, plus of course, all the amethyst cabochons for you coming up at 9 o'clock with Gem, of course, and our second kit tonight. We can't open it for pre-order. Lots of you are asking if we can open that for pre-order. We've got your cabochons of amethyst and your wire. It's the most amazing bundle that's coming up for you at 9 o'clock tonight. And of course, we'll have a second demo with Gem once she's dusted off her knees and stopped sort of picking up seed beads and jump rings off her fingernails, bless her. But please do make sure that you are joining us for that. Now we've got the wire crimping pliers at 8:30. We've had so many requests for them. They're coming up, and I know that lovely Jem will give us a little demo on those as well for you, just to kind of, if you're thinking, oh, what do they do? We will. Well, I say we will show you. She will show you. And we will do that for you in the next hour. So please do make sure that you're joining us for that. Now, also still to come for you tonight. What was the last item tonight that we were opening up for pre-order? Oh, the Moonstone, wasn't it? That's what it was. In all of the kerfuffle, I'd totally forgotten what we'd done. Here we go, it's here. We're going to open this up for pre-order. This will be the last... It's very vintage. This will be the last item that I get a chance to bring you this evening. We'll open it up for pre-order now. Be coming your way about 22, quarter to 10. Vintage, solid stunning silver pendant with a massive moonstone. Dead centre, very, very vintage. And with oxidisation and with that gorgeous, gorgeous granulation work as well. Really, really pretty. That's coming up for us a little later on. We've got the crimping pliers, of course, as well, and loads more with Gem, plus goodness knows what else with, you know, clumsy clogs here. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a matter of moments.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting. But being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
It couldn't be easier to buy from Jewellery Maker with all the information you need right there on screen, from the item code and the product description right down to the price. And whether you're buying at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price. So what are you waiting for? Simply telephone our free phone number or join us at JewelleryMaker.com and start your jewellery making journey today. Jewellery Maker, your one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
Our brand new Get Started with Jewellery Maker page has been created to provide help and guidance for jewellery making newbies. If you need design suggestions, hints and tips, or help with perfecting your jewellery designs, we're here to help. Head over to facebook.com/getstartedwithjm, where our talented in-house designers are happy to answer your jewellery making questions, offer inspiration, and get you started in your jewellery making journey. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
At Jewellery Maker, we are always looking at ways to provide you with a fantastic shopping experience. With this in mind, we'd like to welcome you to our new pre-order option. Selected items throughout the day will be put on display and made available for pre-order. When the presenter informs you that the pre-order service is available on an item, this is your chance to pop it into your online basket or speak to one of our brilliant call centre team members and be one of the first to secure your purchase.
Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When you spend $4.95 with us, you'll get a free welcome pack which contains everything you need to get started, including step-by-step project cards and a DVD which will give you the chance to be able to create an arrangement of different items of jewellery. You'll also get a manual which will help to familiarise you with all the items you're going to be creating and all the tools you're going to need to do so. Plus you'll also get a free pack of tools. These will be everything you need to get started. Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier, so why not give it a go today?
Welcome back. Lovely to have your company tonight on The Late Show. Really lovely to see you. I hope you're very, very well. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. Myself and the lovely Gem Hawks with you all the way through till 10 o'clock. We've got a full jam-packed last of stock hour coming your way. We've got the crimping pliers coming your way in half an hour. We've got the second kit. Loads of you asking if we can open it for pre-order. We can't. I'm really sorry. The reason that we can't is because there's just not enough to go around, and that we know how much you want those beautiful amethyst cabochons. So please bear with us. We want to make sure that everybody gets a fair chance at that. Now, kicking off with our number 3, and this would be perfect actually for today's deal of the day. If you wanted to display all of today's deal of the day, we used a Kumahimo disc to display them because we couldn't find what we needed. How bizarre is that? How bizarre is that? So this is exactly what we needed to display our own deal of the day. There we go. This is your clear perspex stud, or I suppose as well you could pop your shepherd's hooks in there as well if you wanted to. But your earring display transparent acrylic stand. 15 by 9.5 centimetres, and space there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pairs of earrings. So essentially, what you've got there is a chance to, if you do go to, of course, your craft stalls, it's perfect there to be able to display your beautiful drop earrings and, of course, your studs. You could even, you don't have to necessarily stand it like this either. You could have it in a drawer or a jewellery box like so. I'd be very tempted actually, just for my jewellery box at home. My jewellery box hasn't got an actual section for stud earrings, so I try to keep them in pairs in the kind of, you know, the sort of block compartment section at the top. But actually this would be perfect for just keeping everything all neat together, and the butterflies all together as well. Definitely. Nice and sturdy, of course. Brilliant for those of you who do, of course, your craft stores and your craft fairs and your gallery displays, because it's not, you know, it's very, it's invisible really, isn't it? Because it is transparent. It just means it doesn't matter sort of what the gallery's decorated as, doesn't mean how you've sort of decorated your craft stall or your craft table, because of course it's just there, so it's really unobtrusive. You are just getting the one, okay? Just getting the one. Make sure that you're checking that out, and if you want a multi-buy, please do that as quickly as you possibly can, because we're under £3. And then we drop it even lower for you. 0800 644 655. My niece would love this.
Do you know what's lovely as well? With you having it that way up, you can kind of drape bracelets that go with your earrings.
Yeah, you could actually.
Get yourself coordinated, and they just sit between the earrings.
They would
have the
just
studs.
sort of flowing down that way. Yeah, good idea actually. For me, it's more the fact that the organisational aspect of it, because you know, I've got quite a few pairs of pearl studs, and if I accidentally put them in the same pot as each other, it means that then you're thinking, right, which stud goes with which stud.
Who's got the time?
No one. Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
$195 on your screen. If you want to add this to your order, please go ahead and do so. You can put shepherd's hooks through there as well if you wanted to suspend them and kind of sort of have it that way around. Obviously, if you've got a longer drop, you might struggle with getting all sort of 18 pairs in there. But there's no reason why you couldn't hang your shepherd's hooks through there either. $195 on your screen. Please do make sure that you're checking out and confirming. Nice organisational accessory there for you. Definitely. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can do on that one. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Now, okay, which one? I've got two. Oh, is it a bundle? Amazing. These would look fantastic as a torque necklace, as that Omega style necklace. Silver plated braided wire in a 0.4 and a point, no, that's not this. It is it? Oh, I can see. The braid is 0.6 and then the braid is 0.4. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. That's fine. So, this, okay, so in essence, what you've got is a braid of 0.6 in this wire and a braid of 0.4 in this wire. But the actual, gauge, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. The actual gauge of the wire, let's have a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not sure. I can see, yeah, I know what you mean. So we haven't got the actual final gauge of the entire braid, is what you're saying. Okay, that's strange, but never mind. I can't work that out for you. So it's 0.4, 0.6 on that braid, and you're getting 2 rolls of the 3 metre silver plated. I have to say, they are extremely strong. They've got a beautiful rigidity to them. They would make the most gorgeous Omega style necklaces and torque style necklaces. They do. They look like knitted silver. They're beautiful. Really, really lovely. What would you be using these for?
I had something not dissimilar a little while ago and made a piece which got named Snaky McSnakeface. I know. And at one end there was a single gemstone suspended to make his head.
Okay.
And then it just sort of travelled backwards and forwards in a series of decreasing figure of eights.
Gorge.
Until it had a little coil at the bottom.
Lovely.
So you can use them for figurative work, but they are amazing as tiara bases.
Yep,
They're absolutely
yep.
fantastic
Can see
to
that.
make a really heavyweight collarette feature, as you say, for talks, and then make a very beautiful and simple bangle as well.
I was thinking arm, you know, it's the arm cuff at the top of the arm.
Yeah, your almost Grecian effect.
That's beautiful, wouldn't
It
they?
would be.
Really,
Really lovely.
really lovely. Gorgeous, and such gorgeous structure to them.
They are, they're gorgeous. It's almost like nature, like a loofah.
Yeah, it is actually, because it's got a beautiful, almost textile texture to it.
It is, yes.
Very strange how we've been able to do that.
It's like a vine.
Yeah, lovely.
That's what I was thinking of, not a
definitely.
loofah.
It's got a definite sort of rope feel to it, but you know that it's metal because you can feel the weight of it, which is gorgeous. But it has got that kind of textile feel to it. So we've got 2 of those reels for you. Please do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Price? Do it. There we go. Under £10. Under £10 on your screen. £9.95. Make sure that you check it out and confirming. I've got Jane, Abiola, Josephine, Julia, Arlene, Sue and Candy still waiting to check out on that one. Good luck. I'm then going to move on to... Yeah, got them. Some lovely colour coming off these. They are amazing. I am absolutely, I know it's not coming down the camera. Oh, just about, just there. Look, it hits the light and you're just about seeing what we're seeing in the studio. These are, the labradorescence in this is very, very deep inside the labradorite. So when the light hits it, it kind of comes alive, but the light has to be there. So you need to be able to see these when you get them home. They are the last 10. Ultraviolet coming through down here. Do you see it? Beautiful. Look at that. My goodness. $16.95 for those. Centre drilled. They are faceted squares that you're getting lovely depth on them as well. So if you were sort of thinking about working with these with your seed bead embroidery, there's enough depth. Look at these. You can just start to see them come alive now that the light is coming up. They are going to look amazing in natural daylight, aren't they? Absolutely glorious. $16.95 on your screen. They are the very, very last of stock, so please do make sure that you're checking out on those. And again, thinking about how you're going to be working those, they are going to look fantastic if they've got movement. They're going to need to have that movement so that the light catches them and it sort of comes alive and illuminates. That's the word I wanted to use. They're beautiful. Do make sure you're checking out though. Last of stock, lots of you there. Huge talk to the call centre. Well done. I'm going to bring up then for you. They are lovely. They are gorgeous. How much chrome diopside have we got in at the minute, Beck? Because it's not sort of forthcoming really, is it? Look at these. Oh my goodness. Now the reason that you get an audible gasp at looking at these is because the glow and the clarity of them. Now, if they were oversaturated and if they were not as clean to the eye as these are, you wouldn't get, on camera 2 now, here in the studio, you would not be seeing that secondary tone of green coming through. You would just see, so you see the very one in the centre right now that almost looks black, turned on its side. That's because the light is catching it in a certain angle, so it looks oversaturated. But if you see the twist and the movement, that is gorgeous. Fabulous, fabulous quality. Lovely stuff. Chrome diopside. Sci-fi greens, it is beautiful. 52 carats, last to stock, the final 14. If you've never worked with this beautiful, look at that, my goodness me, if you've never worked with chrome diopside, what an opportunity. What an opportunity. Slight graduation on that strand, 4 to 7 millimeters on the drop, 20 centimeter strand, beautifully jam-packed, double-sided. I mean, not a single millimeter of that strand is wanting for a gorgeous chrome diopside. Siberia, we're talking about the Uralian mountains, of course, over in Siberia. One of the most inhospitable areas of the world to go and mine in. And we were complaining about it being cold at kind of -2 last night when we left the building here. But it's -27 there, and that's in their spring. Exactly. Oh, it would be, honestly, it would be like being in paradise if they were to come over here in the cold at -2. Oh, it was a little bit. The de-icer was out. 35.95 on your screen. 35.95. It has got the most gorgeous colour.
It's a dream combination with your Ethiopian opal as well. Looks just stunning with
Picks
pearls.
up those beautiful, beautiful moments of greens, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I remember seeing one of our customers, I think it might have been, I think it would have been Christmas 2016, on the run-up to Christmas 2016, had made a pearl and chrome diopside necklace.
Beautiful combination.
All using JM products, pearls, chrome diopside, beautiful clasp, and she'd had it valued at an independent jeweller's at over £300.
Wowzers. Amazing. It's one of my top 5 gemstones, and that is a beautiful example.
Why is it?
Because it takes my breath away. When I first got into gemstones, I didn't really have a green gemstone that drew me in. There were various other colours that I was familiar with and fell for. The first time I saw a chromium diopside from this location, my heart just melted, absolutely melted.
It is
and
amazing,
since then, I found lots of green gemstones that I like, but this is my number
top.
one top green gemstone.
It's so alive with colour, isn't it? I mean, I know peridot glows, but it's a different green. This is a very, very vibrant viridian green, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely elemental. It feels like a force of nature.
Yeah, it does, actually. Really, really does. Curtis in Sussex, well done. Sonia, well done. Elle, well done indeed to you. Anonymous Collectors, well done indeed to you. You're all there pressing your button ones. We're allocating to you. Please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming. They are gorgeous. Look at how, I just can't get over how vivid it is. Kerry, is that screen up there the true colour, or is this screen down here the true colour?
I think it's a mix.
It's a mix of in between.
That one's really bright.
Of course it is. We've got 2 screens in the studio. We've got one up on the wall up here, we've got one down here. So, and one is extremely bright and one is a little bit dark. So I was just wondering which is the truest, and Kerry's going somewhere in the middle. It would be, wouldn't it? It would be somewhere in the middle. Hey, there we go. What are you going to do? Anyway, I've got to say, it is a phenomenal gemstone. See with your own eyes. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so really do, you know, there's no risk buying. You get it home, you get it out the packaging, you see it, you get it out in natural daylight, you look at it, you see it, you rotate it, you feel the energy that that gorgeous green brings, that elemental property that, of course, that Jem was just talking about, and thinking that it comes from freezing cold grounds in the Uralian and Siberian, of course, mountains. And then if you're not 100% happy, you send it back to us, no questions asked. One left, hold those lines. Well done. Oh, okay, sweetheart. So we had a really beautiful, I fell in love with it instantly. It's just my cup of tea. It is a gorgeous leaf necklace. However, unfortunately, it didn't make its way over to us from the warehouse, which I think is a real shame, and I'd love to bring it to you. I would love to be able to bring it to you. So we haven't got it here in the studio, and I'm really sorry about that, but I do want to give you a chance to own it. It's rhodium plated. Now, for those of you sat at home going, well, why is that such a big thing? Basically, it's a member of the platinum family, rhodium. And it just brings an extra beautiful element to solid sterling silver. Also reduces the tarnishing of course, your genuine solid sterling silver. And I think we can definitely say a really beautiful beautiful high-end look. Now, I do believe it's got an extender as well. So it goes from 16 to 18 inches as the longest length. You can see it there. Unfortunately, though, I don't have it here in the studio, but I do want to bring it to you. I do want to make sure you get a chance because the price on this is amazing. $10.95 for that beautiful, for contemporary, elegant, beautiful, beautiful present to be able to give to somebody, or of course to wear. You know, you've only got to look at Instagram and Pinterest and see that kind of look that the celebrities are wearing, from your Cameron Diaz through to Jennifer Aniston, and so, you know, Holly Willoughby as well. That really classy neckline look. It's very simple, it's very streamlined, it's not fussy, and a lot of the celebs are kind of going down that route at the moment, kind of that lovely sort of sleek aesthetic, if you like. Please, if you would like, you've got your 30-day money-back guarantee, but at $10.95, look at the craftsmanship. Now, the day that you take delivery of your Jewellery Maker goodies, that's when your 30-day money-back guarantee starts. And we're at $10.95. You're under £3 as well for the shipping and the handling charge for the entire day. And, of course, the 30-day money-back guarantee. Please do make sure you're checking it. I think that is gorgeous. I wish I had it in the studio to show you. I am really sorry that we didn't get it over from the warehouse, but it just didn't make it over here, unfortunately. And I really did want to make it. It's only very, very last of stock as well. Very, very last of stock. So please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming as soon as you can on this one. Not far away from your crimping pliers. Not far away from those. They are coming up, and I'm hopeful that lovely Jem won't mind if she demos those for us, because it is demo weekend after all. In case you sat at home going, what's the crimping pliers? We might be, well, head on over to Jem at 12:30. It's these that I'm talking about, and they're coming up for you in about 10 minutes time. About 10 minutes time. Next that we've got then is... what is in there? What is supposed to be? Okay. That is gorgeous. I am in love with that. How much Tanzanite have you worked with? I mean, we're very lucky to have worked with as much as we have.
We are indeed, and it's always a privilege. Whatever medium it comes to you in, it's just a stunning gemstone. The combination of the hues they're in, it makes you sort of stop and take a breath for a minute, and that's a really, really beautiful strand.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Really
Absolutely
lovely.
Glorious.
Do you work with it at home, and do you own it?
I do own Tanzanite. My favourite thing is a little pair of trilliant cut earrings. They're not massive, but they're that exact shade, almost sort of cornflower in their tone.
Aren't they? There's that sort of forget-me-not blue tone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It brings that sort of natural floral appeal through. I do work and I do sell Tanzanite jewellery. That's just gorgeous.
I think it's amazing to be able to say that, though, don't you?
It is, because it's one of those aspirational gemstones, especially if you're new to working with genuine gems as opposed to perhaps your resins or your plastics. You're sort of taking the step to move towards genuine gemstones. To have Tanzanite, one of the big five, as it were,
absolutely,
in your stable of things that you can bring forward and pass on the savings that we bring,
definitely
making it affordable for everybody to be able to own a piece of that gorgeous jewellery.
And I think when you're looking at this strand as well, you do see some beautiful, in the light of the studio just here, there are these little flashes of the baby pink where you don't normally get that in your sort of, if you're thinking about your rondelles, you're thinking about some of the fact that you've got lots of jardins and silks in there. You don't often get a chance to see the flashes of the pleochroism unless it's really, really top grade eye clean. And yet, I promise you, there are definitely moments of that in that strand. Very last of stock on this one, $16.95. Less than 40 strands left in the warehouse. and you've got 35 carats of it there. $16.95. Collectors straight in and checking out, and I'm not surprised either. This is one of those strands where I would be saying, please do yourself a favour, get yourself your certificate of authenticity. I mean, you can, of course, you can absolutely download the certificate of authenticity from the website once you've purchased this through your account, but if you can, get it, pay the extra 25 pence and get the certificate of authenticity. Show your customers, you know, and again, it does show your customers, if you are sort of creating and commissioning pieces of jewellery, I think, for customers, to show them that you're very serious about your integrity and what you're producing is authentic and genuine, and building that trust so that they come back to you time and time again. This is, without a doubt, this is definitely one to get that certificate of authenticity with, definitely. $16.95 on your screen. Talk to the call centre, confirm as soon as you can on this one. They are last of stock. Well done to Rachel, well done to Gabby, well done to collectors in Sussex, well done to Jill, well done to anonymous collectors, well done to Susan, well done to Anna. Hold those lines, well done. Okay, staying with your Tanzanite. Now, we had a little last of stock showcase last night for you for our Tanzanite connectors. Can you imagine, okay, being able to run a neckline piece with this as the pendant and your faceted Tanzanite as the neckline piece? Oh, the Tanzanite, my goodness! It's a beautiful colour on that cab, isn't it? Extraordinary colour. If that had clarity, that would be the colour that I would expect to give a AAA to.
That's just what I was thinking. The colour is amazing. That hue is just glorious. Wow.
Deep, deep saturation. 12 carats, 29 by 19 millimetres. You've got your solid sterling silver. Just showing you so much silver work there. Look at that. Now, this very, very last of stock. The last time that this particular pendant was on your screen was in September. Very last stock. Let me take it up to the neckline for you so you get a sort of an idea on size here. This would look particularly awesome on a long chain. You know that beautiful reel of chain that we had earlier? That would definitely look awesome. I love the size of that. It's beautiful, isn't it?
A 12 carat Tanzanite is something to talk about, isn't it?
Extraordinary in one stone as well. 12 carats in one stone is definitely, Gem is so right. It is definitely something to write home about. Yeah, I can't put my hand up and say that I own a 12 carat Tanzanite. I own some beautiful Tanzanite, but I don't own a 12 carat Tanzanite. Do you? $24.95 means that you can. It really does. So much beautiful silver as well. And they are the very, very last of stock. Now, if you saw the last chance Tanzanite in silver that we had for you, of course, yesterday, please enjoy those when they arrive to the house. If you want to take advantage of this one, you absolutely can. $24.95, polished, and it's a very deep violet blue. It really is. Now, obviously, they're all going to vary because, of course, it is an individual gemstone with Mother Nature's fingerprints all over it. It hasn't been, you know, sort of cut and faceted in a factory by a machine. We're talking about it being polished by hand. We're talking about it being set by hand. We're talking about the silver work being created by hand. $24.95. Make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Last of stock on that one. Collector on Mazzy's side. Donna, Tanya, you're just about to check out for the last couple. Good luck. Make sure you're holding those lines. Lovely stuff. Now we're talking about opals, and I am still wearing Claire's opals. I know. I keep saying they're Claire's. I did accidentally wear them when I went home yesterday. I love them. They're gorgeous. I will give them back to her. I will give them back. Look at these. These are fabulous. 12 carats, Ethiopian opal, graduated plain rondelles. Now, as I rotate that back and forth, you should be able to just start to see as the light is catching the top part, at the top part of your screen there, as the light is catching your opals, there are electric greens coming through here. Look at those. Can you see there's a red, there's a green coming through, there's an ultraviolet. Really beautiful. What? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Really? Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I love the fact that we've got that is fantastic. I would be imagining seeing this strand at closer to 30-40 pounds for the amount of play of colour and the fact that it is organic, natural, unenhanced Ethiopian opal. The colours are amazing on it. You need to see it with your own eyes. Now, for those of you who've been messaging in about the rings that I'm wearing, Claire made them, I think, but I found them next door to the computer, so I just thought, oh, I'll try those on. Say again. Yeah, it was somebody who messaged in saying that they look like Claire's, to be fair, because Claire made me this moon one as well, you see. So they do look like Claire's beautiful design silver rings, to be fair. But the amount of play of colour that's coming out of those opals is amazing. And you're seeing that play of opal in this strand for £9.95. I think that's amazing value. So if you see what Claire has done with these, using the opal rounds, you could group a few of those together and put those across the wire there instead and have it like that. That would be amazing as well. Gorgeous. What would you be doing with these opal sweets? Because they are really, they're not the biggest opals that we've done, but they've got that lovely delicate pinfire flash, haven't they?
I think possibly a couple in the middle would become little solitaire rings encircled in a nest of sterling silver wire, and then trilogies with the smaller end of the strand.
Okay.
And then also in little 1.5-inch sections on the back of the wrist with our slider bracelets.
Oh, that's a lovely idea, actually. I think I've got one of those.
Have you? That would be perfect. Really beautiful combination.
Okay, so you'd take... So, for example, what do you say, about 1.5 inches?
1 inch to 1.5 inches is more than plenty to showcase a gemstone on the front of the wrist.
Okay, so you would pop maybe that little graduated section in the centre.
Quite possibly.
That's a nice idea, actually. So you'd sort of chop it there. Yeah. There are some. I would be tempted to hand pick the best play of colour ones out of that strand, though.
Definitely.
They've all got little elements of it, but there are some on that strand that are like proper outstanding.
The super exceptional superstars. Yes.
Definitely. I think you can see those, even with the sort of most gentlest of movements. You can see those. Even outside of the light. Can you see? Now, look at these here. Can you see? Play of colour that's coming through.
Oh, that is absolutely stunning. When you see that...
I would be hand-picking those and choosing the best ones to go into a slider bracelet like that.
There's gorgeous hot pinks in there as well.
Now, that's static. Now, this is really important, actually. Static play of colour is something that we don't talk about that often here at JM, and we should. Because static play of colour in an opal is one of the most amazing selling points of an opal, the most amazing attributes, the most incredible sort of desires in this sort of criteria of what you're getting in an opal. Static play of colour is definitely one of the ones that should be on that checklist. So by all means, please do look at that static play of colour and enjoy. Now, I am going to bring you these next, but what I'm going to do is shimmy past all of the goodies so that we don't knock those over. I don't knock those over. I don't know why I'm saying we. It was just clearly me, all me. And lovely Gemma is going to show us how we do what we do with the crimping pliers, of course, in our demo weekend for tonight's Best Up. shimmied. Done.
Gingerly, I might
Yes,
add.
it was very, Oh, right, my lovely.
Okay.
These,
Well, we can talk through how to
please.
use them.
That would be marvellous.
These are really beautiful ones, actually, because sometimes out in the marketplace you will find crimping pliers that are less than beautifully formed.
Okay.
And that will give you a less than beautifully crimped crimp.
Okay, so the purpose of the purpose of this is to get the best finish, I'm assuming.
There are several ways that you can use your crimp beads. You can use them decoratively, or you can use them as the component which they were invented to be.
Okay.
Now, a crimp bead, in its general essence, is a very small tube
Yes.
of a fine gauge, and you would pop your several strands of beading thread or other material through the tube. And the first thing that you would need to do is squash that tube flat. Now, I tend to do this in a couple of stages.
Okay.
Now, generally speaking, you would use the central position here, where you've got a little smiley face. A little smiley face. And what that does is it flattens the crimp and causes it to curve a little bit like a comma. Now, what I do personally, this is not what they are designed to do, but I will use this flat section just behind the curvy smile, and I'll squash that crimp flat. And what that means is that I can move my piece of jewellery around safely, knowing that the crimp is just, for the moment, it's going to hold those threads into position.
But you haven't fully squished it down yet.
I've squished it, but I've squished it flat.
Okay.
Now, in some designs, that's enough. But when we want to use a crimp bead cover, which in our fine jewellery we will want to be doing, because it looks like a bead that's placed there just magically, holding everything together. So once you've given it a squish flat, what you can do is bend up the residue of your beading material and cut that away.
Okay.
So you're finished with all your cutting, and the next thing you do is pop it into the smile, which is in the centre, and that gives you this delightful comma shape within that piece of metal. Once you have got the comma shape, you're going to move into this section on the end and turn through 90 degrees. And what that will do is it will take the comma shape and it will squash it down, so you end up with a crimp which is half the size.
Okay.
And in that, you're completely enclosing all of the threads within the crimp tube, and you're making a very small, very secure little bundle of squished metal, which fits perfectly inside your crimp cover.
Okay.
Now, I know that there are people out there that also use this last section to close the crimp bead cover around their beautifully squashed comma.
Okay.
I know it's squashed, not squashed, but I particularly like saying squashed. It makes me smile. So you can pop your crimp bead cover in this last little aperture here, and as you gently move that down, it gives you quite a controlled closure.
Okay.
What often happens with your little pizza missing a slice crimp cover is the two sections, if you imagine it's like this, they can go crossways like this.
Rather than actually close together.
And you want them to close together so it forms the image of a perfect spherical bead. And using these as well as a machine to close your crimp, you can also use them to close the crimp bead cover. So they're really handy. And these are absolutely beautifully made. There's no roughness.
No,
it's very even.
Got a nice ergonomic grip.
They have. They're very comfortable.
You were saying about them being decorative. You could also use them for decorative purposes as well. What does that mean?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Who knew? With your crimp bead covers, which you can use these for, you can just add them in to take up tension in designs that you've already made.
Okay, so as in, I see what you mean. So as in to pop them in place and make them perfectly close as if they were a bead.
Yes.
Spacer bead.
Yeah,
okay.
Most definitely. So, I mean, they are handy. They're perfect for giving you that perfect flush finish on your crimp bead. Now, there are certain designs when just having a flattened crimp bead works really well. It's sort of an industrial look to it.
Okay.
There are certain designs when you will go through both of the stages and you won't bother putting a crimp bead cover on. But there are many designs which call for that crimp bead cover to add that just perfect finish.
Okay,
so
fab.
they are super easy to use. I do believe we actually have on YouTube, there may well still be a demonstration of how to use them. If not, they do exist out there in the universe, little demonstrations, or just give me a shout on...
Oh, that's kind of you, Donna.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
JM Guest Designer Gem Hawks, that's Gem with a J.
Yeah, Gem with a J. What I will say is that if you want your jewellery to have that really professional finish and you want it to look you know, top dollar.
Yes.
It is important that you've got the right tools, and this is definitely one of those tools that you're going to need.
It absolutely is, and as I said, out there in the world, there do exist some slightly less beautiful versions of this particular tool, and what you'll find is that the teeth don't meet perfectly, or it hasn't really been thought about the little smile bit, which is the key, really, when you're creating that comma. That's, if I got it the wrong way up, it was a frown, now it's a smile. That is key, that shape. It needs to be just so. Some of the ones that are out there in the market, they don't give you enough of a curve, and then when you try to turn that through 90 degrees and pop it in the last aperture, it just unsquishes itself. And all of the work that you've done, you then need to fiddle 2 millimetres of beading thread into a very confined position. So to have this working first time every time, which is what these do, is so important.
Amazing. Fabulous stuff. Thank you so much, my lovely. Let's bring you a price. So 800 644 655 if you'd like to get a hold of these. It says £9.95. We're not going to do that price for you tonight. We're going to take it even lower. Get it down to £6.95.
That's
still loving the amethyst wall.
Yes, I keep sort of looking at it thinking,
just loving that. Coming up for us in less than 20 minutes time now.
Ooh.
Looking forward to that. £6.95 for your pliers. Please do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you possibly can on those. I will be back with you in less than 20 minutes. Thank you, my lovely.
Shall I repacket those for you?
She's so good. Is this literally, this is just going to be a thing now, is it? Right.
Let's just be honest, I wouldn't manage to get in the gap that you've just gingerly stepped through, so kudos.
Made it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Tom Cruise there in Mission Impossible. What am I doing next, my darling? Yes. They are lovely as well. Now, bearing in mind, okay, we had some pearls earlier that were called black pearls. This is what I call a black pearl, or a sort of a midnight pearl. The base colour is a very intense midnight. They're not 100% black. They're not a black spinel black. But they have some very, very lovely deep intense tone and secondary colours that are mesmerising, like a really deep teal, a flash of pink, sort of a deep sort of crimson sort of flash every now and again. And you'll see them when you get them home. Now, they are flat-bottomed pearls. And that means that they make really beautiful studs. They make fantastic sort of neat, elegant cufflinks as well. I have to say, look at those purples and those greens coming through. Wowzers. Very nice. Now you're getting an 18 centimetre strand. Pearlescence is really strong. So is the flash of teal as well. They look great. Not too ostentatious, not too big. Just really lovely, classic size. £4.95.
Are you kidding?
It's good, isn't it? £4.95.
You know,
now,
you can sit those flat bottom to flat bottom, and it gives the impression of almost like a peanut pearl. And then pop bead caps either side, and it just sort of punctuates an otherwise what could be a very normal strand of other pearls.
Yeah.
Just have two of those back to back. It looks really good.
Could you do me a massive favour? Would you snip that strand for me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my lovely.
It's all right. I'm trying not to touch anything.
I don't have any snippers. I'm just thinking of today's deal of the day with those. And I'm assuming, so bear with me a sec. So we get the deal of the day out. I just want to see, thank you, my darling. I just want to see if they work with today's deal of the day. So we pop that through there. Pop that through there. Oh, they do as well. That's fab. Look at that. So instantly, with our deal of the day,
perfect. Absolutely.
So you pop the flat-bottomed pearl on the actual stud point, then you pop the sort of the heart end through. And you've got a stud earring, or even a cufflink there if you wanted to. I mean, they are gorgeous.
That's
really,
perfect,
really
Ray.
lovely. Make sure you're checking out on those. The tea of the day is quite cracking today, isn't it? I don't think we've got many left, so please do make sure that you're checking out on those. I do, my darling. Yeah. No, I don't have a Takali slider chain. I've got on the T-bar, darling. Hang on, just in case it's fallen down. Oh, sorry. Just gonna go out now. Sorry, it was right at the front. I do apologise. Looking at the T-bar, my bad. It's very sparkly. I do love our Takani necklaces. See, if this was on the T-bar, you wouldn't be able to miss this, would you? 24 inches in length. Beautifully sparkly. It does catch the links on a Takal necklace and a Takal bracelet. They attract the light beautifully, absolutely beautifully. 24-inch necklace maximum. However, just going to grab the slider so that you can see how that will drop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that up to the neckline. And I'm just going to hold that there just to show you how you could choose to wear this. So you've got that beautiful drop. It could go down the back of the neck as well. Or of course you could wear it in its traditional sense and just wear it as a beautiful Takal chain. But the Takal linked, it's almost like, it's like tinsel for the neckline. It is so incredibly pretty. 0800 644 655. You're getting over 4 grams of solid sterling silver. You're getting the slider mechanism. There are 13 left in our warehouse. That is it. $17.95 on your screen. Amazing value for such a very, very pretty chain. Looks amazing in its own right. And yet, you have got an opportunity to suspend a beautiful pendant off of this as well. I would say the last 13 though, bearing in mind it looks so expensive. If you are still gifting for birthdays or sort of celebrations in January, February, and you're thinking, okay, you know what, this is a really beautiful piece of jewellery with a cracking price point. It is. Really, really is. 0800 644 655. Please do make sure that you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can. Talk to the call centre, flying out the door, as I'm sure you can appreciate. With the last of stock, $17.95. It is so pretty and sparkly. Look at that. Make sure that you are checking out and confirming. Good luck. Hold those lines. Well done. Loads of, can I just say, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 11 of you not checked out yet. 11 of you not checked out. Good luck. Huge good luck. If you're missing out on that one, I do apologise that there wasn't enough to go round. Okay, next one we've got for you. Last stock on... Oh, don't forget, you can pre-order on the Moonstone. You can pre-order on the Moonstone and the vintage beautiful pendant as well in solid sterling silver. That is available for pre-order for you now, if you'd like to get hold of that. Gonna move on then to... Yeah. This is substantial. Really, the links are big, they're open. It's a 20-inch gold-plated necklace with lobster claw clasp. Look at the links, look at the spacing on the links on this. Again, I think that we'd call this would be a Midas gold, wouldn't it?
We're back with Midas on
Aren't
this
we?
one.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. How gorgeous is that?
Really full-on Midas gold colour.
I'm going to break into Shirley Bassey in a minute.
You've got lobster claw clasp, or spring lobster claw, I should say. Nice big links on this one. Now, bearing in mind, okay, you could, if you wanted to, thinking about this, oops, let me just move that around. Thinking about how those links work as a charm bracelet as well.
They're nice and open, aren't they? Perfect.
Definitely. If you've got gold-plated charms at home, you've been wondering what to do with them, you've got your jump rings ready to go, this would definitely work with it. $6.95, wow! You've got 4.7 grams of solid sterling silver, amazing affordability. Absolutely, there is absolutely no one who's going to go, okay, 18 karat gold on top of solid sterling silver, $6.95. There's nowhere else that kind of offers you that opportunity, really, not for the quality. Not for the quality. Sometimes I'm sure you'll see prices like that elsewhere. You take delivery and you're going, okay. But then you could take delivery of something of our quality for 20, 30, 40 pounds and up. You're still at $6.95. Loving the show tonight, ladies. I've laughed so much. Oh, I'm glad laughing at us or with us. I'm not quite sure, Marie. She says, Jem, you're looking really well, my lovely.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you, darling. Oh,
there we
bless
go.
you. Big love. Thank you.
From Angela, she says, so glad that you've gone back to dropping the prices and not the contents of the studio. Angela. Better for Jem's back as well. I know. Honestly, she literally just leapt from it and was like, da-da, trying to save the boxes. I know. Bless her. Thank you.
Fastest I've moved all week.
Have you done yourself an injury?
No, it's all good.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, that's all right. Hold the lines on that one. Hold the lines. Which one, my darling? Okie dokie. When you're working towards next month's birthstone pieces, when you're ready for the commissions that you need to make for next month, you want to be looking for more and more and more of that beautiful amethyst in, and we've got the cabochons to die for coming up for you in what, less than 10 minutes or just over 10 minutes time with Jem and our second kit. So, and by the way, can I just say, I know, to be fair to Bex, that's like the 18th person now who's asked if we can open up the pre-orders for the amethyst. We can't. I'm really sorry. There's not enough to go round. We know how much you're going to want those amethyst cabs, but they're coming up at 9 o'clock, just after 9 o'clock, and we're making it fair for everybody so that everybody gets a fair sort of chomp at the apple. However, look at these. Top drilled amethyst drops from Zambia. Beautiful Southern Colomo Victoria Falls Gemfields amethyst. That's what's so amazing about our amethyst. I do, you know, out of all the amethysts I've ever sold, that I've ever auctioned, that I've ever been privileged to handle, I honestly do believe that the Zambian amethyst from Gemfields is by far the most astonishing of amethysts that I've ever handled. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gemstone. It really, really is. Zambian amethyst, there is something about it. There is something about its depth of colour. There is something about the odd silk or jardin that you find in there, of course, that is sort of 31 million years old. There is something about the lighter tones that's captivating. It's because it's a natural and enhanced, beautiful amethyst. $3.95. $3.95. Make sure that you are checking out and confirming, because that is some of the most affordable Zambian amethysts I think I've set eyes on. Good gracious me. Now, they are top drilled all the way through. It is a jam-packed to the rafters strand as well.
Is absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't
Loving
it?
how they're sort of tessellating against each
Yeah,
other. And you could
gorgeous.
utilise that in your design if you
I was
wanted
going to say,
to.
we're just going to take it up to the neckline very, very quickly, actually, because they are, you could just literally restrand them, higgledy-piggledy as they are.
They're
Oh,
very,
800, 644, 655. Sorry, Jen, what were you going to say, my
I was
darling?
going to say they're very delicious. They're fruity, aren't they?
They are.
I love
They're proper
them.
blackcurrant colour, aren't they? They are indeed. Would work beautifully with the cabs that we've got coming up for you in about 7 minutes' time. Looking forward to those. Well done, hold those lines. Going to move on to... Wow. Ooh. Very luster stock. These are so good. I am going to make sure that these are all sitting properly on this strand so you can see them, because they are a beaut. Oh, 2 seconds. There we go. Look at these. Oh, these are electric blue. $11. Incredibly outstanding. Do you know why they're outstanding? The clarity. The clarity and the class is amazing. Now, bearing in mind, we had some imperial topaz for you last night that had silks, jardins within it. They were natural, they were unenhanced, and they were huge as well. This is topaz on a different level. This is topaz on a totally different level. Because the clarity, the colour, the sparkle, they're beautiful, aren't they? They
Absolutely.
are. That's a high-end strand for me.
So in my imagination, I'm seeing these in 18 karat white gold in a designer window.
Yeah,
They're of that
definitely.
quality, just amazing, beautiful. And as you say, the clarity of them.
Astonishing,
it
really.
is.
I'm looking for a silk. I'm looking for a jardin, and it is, well, for me. And bearing in mind, so I had my eyes lasered 9 years ago. And still to this day, I'm told I've got 60-60 vision by the optometrist. And I'm telling you, you've got great underwear on. I always tell people I've got X-ray vision. Yes, children always do. Bless them. No, it was hilarious. My niece was into Hello Kitty. My niece was very much into Hello Kitty, and all of her vests and pants were all Hello Kitty. So I used to say to her, I said, "You're wearing Hello Kitty underwear?" And she was like, "Oh, she can see." Bless her. I know. She was very little at the time, though. Bless her heart. They are immaculate in my eyes. Look at that recording. Now, come on. You are so close up in that recording. Look at that colour, that intensity.
I could literally watch that for hours, just spinning around and around.
It is beautiful, isn't it? $33.95 for a really beautiful strand, a very high quality strand. Do make sure that you're enjoying those. I can't wait to see your designs. I'm imagining very high-end findings with those. Make sure you're holding those lines. Talk to the call centre. They are beautiful. Last 3 there for you. Gabby, Jill, collector in Norfolk. You're close to getting one of the last 3. That's Gabby, Jill in West Yorkshire, and a collector in Norfolk. You are very lucky to just try and get one of those last 3. Good luck. Really good luck. You do need to check out those as soon as you can. There is indeed. There is indeed. Now, I know Ruth Lynette has this in the rose gold, I think. She is hilarious.
Her cats are stunning.
I hadn't realised that Ruth had sent me a Christmas card, and it was at home. And I was walking through the hallway where all the Christmas cards were, and I could see this Christmas card with cats on it. And I was like, who sent us that? I don't remember opening that one. And then there it is, and it said, "Just for you," from Ruth. Ruth, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, okay? I'm not going to lie. Cats don't like me, and I don't like cats, okay? I'm a dog person, but that's okay. Because everybody's different, and that's okay. But what I know, but that's it, because I understand. My sister-in-law adores them. Ruth does as well. And I'm allergic to them. They make my eyes itch.
Aww.
So that's one of the main reasons. And they also despise me.
I think cats are drawn to people, and there's a scientific reasoning behind it. When you see something that you dislike, you tend to narrow your eyes a little bit, and cats see that as a sign of affection. So if you're eyeballing a cat and you don't like them, you're going, "Eh." The cat sat there thinking, "Oh, this person really loves me, I'm going to go and sit on their lap." That's what I read.
To be fair, that is true about. So my niece Grace, she's got a cat called Leo, and all he wants to do is just sit on me. I'm like scratching and eyeballs running, but all he wants to do is. So he doesn't hate me, which is quite nice. But life would be very boring if we all liked the same thing. But the reason I was talking about my lovely friend Ruth Lynette is because I do fondly refer to her as Cat Lady, and we have done for years. I won't tell you what she calls me, it's unrepeatable. But she has this in rose gold and was recently wearing it to a christening that we were at. Cats don't like you because you don't like pre-night. Celeste was watching last night. being honest.
So I'll love pre-night enough for both of us.
You'll love pre-night enough.
I'll
Okay.
fall on that sword. It's all good.
Okay, you do that. Great show, ladies. Both looking gorgeous. Oh, that's very kind of you, Jamie. Thank you very much indeed for messaging in.
Thank you, Jamie.
$5.95, lost the stock, solid stunning silver. This is the yellow gold pretty putty cat that you're getting there. Please do make sure that you check it out. It is lost the stock on this one. I know, yeah, we were at the christening. I was like, Ruth, is that a cat pendant? She was like, yeah, it is. She just loves them. She loves. She's got, I wanted to say, Bengals.
Yeah, they're Bengals.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
After the tiger.
That's okay.
They are beautiful, beautiful cats.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning. As cats go,
yeah,
they're good ones.
Oh, they make me want to claw my eyes out. Oh, so itchy. Anyway, moving on to, and I can't have a dog because my husband's allergic. I was like, oh, which dog could we have? Can't breathe. He's got to have an asthma pump.
You can have a Labradoodle. About half of Labradoodle litters are anti-allergenic, hypoallergenic, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Don't cause allergies.
Oh, the ones that don't molt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your poodles might work for you, but not everybody's a poodle person.
No, I know. And the thing is, it's all about individual choice, isn't it? And
yes.
Wait,
I think Dagoos are cute.
pardon?
Dagoos.
I don't know what a dagoos is.
It's kind of like a chinchilla, but less the fluffy
is it?
tail.
Okay.
They're really cute, really sweet, very friendly, very smart.
To be fair, the most amazing dog I've ever met is my friend Hannah's dog, which is called Zulu, which is a Samoyed, and
I love Samoyeds.
so
Amazing.
beautiful. He's such a well-behaved dog.
It's his kind of weather at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, loving it. He's absolutely loving it. Listen, don't go anywhere. We digress, as we always do. We've got a whole host of gorgeous amethyst cabochons coming your way with Gem. Let's talk about animals. Again, you know, for those of you, please don't be offended if because I've said that I don't like cats. It literally is just because they, you know, literally make my eyes weep. Please do not adjust your sets. We've got a whole host of gorgeous amethysts coming your way next.
Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When you spend $4.95 with us, you'll get a free welcome pack which contains everything you need to get started, including step-by-step project cards and a DVD which will give you the chance to be able to create an arrangement of different items of jewellery. You'll also get a manual which will help to familiarise you with all the items you're going to be creating and all the tools you're going to need to do so. Plus you'll also get a free pack of tools. These will be everything you need to get started. Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier, so why not give it a go today?
Getting started with Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When you spend with us £4.95, you will get a free welcome pack. That welcome pack will give you pretty much everything you need to get started. From a manual, which will help you to familiarise yourself with all of the items that you're going to be creating and all of the products that you need, including tools and findings and threads. You'll also get a DVD and step-by-step project cards. These cards and the DVD will give you the chance to be able to create a wonderful arrangement of different items of jewellery. Plus, you'll also get a free 3-pack of tools. These will be everything you need to get started. So, getting started with the Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. So why not give it a go today? Jewellery Maker, your one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2. Or alternatively, you can email help@jewellerymaker.com.
Buying from Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When we bring an item to you, all the graphics come on screen, and this gives you all the information that you will need to know, from the item code to the product description with all of the key information. Then the price comes on, and whether you join at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price. So, when you see an item that you would like to buy, simply pick up the phone and dial our free phone number, and you'll get through to our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, you can join us at www.JewelleryMaker.com and start your jewellery making journey today. Jewellery Maker, the one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back. Last hour of the Late Show and all the amethyst coming up with Gem in a sec. Shall we just show everybody?
Can we? Because humana humana. The gallery is singing beautifully, just FYI.
This is just... Oh, this is good. Really, really good.
Oh.
This is available tomorrow night. You have got the most amazing opals. Look at that play of colour. All that it's electric. Lit. Absolutely gorgeous. As are your amethysts. So those gorgeous opals tomorrow night. These are now. We have been a little bit aghast, really.
Totally, absolutely. When I opened the parcel, I nearly fell off the sofa.
They are magical. I love them. So many. Obviously, you're guaranteed a massive 970 carats. And there are pear shapes, there are ovals, there are elongated pear shapes, there are more sort of triangular shapes, there are rounds, there are free form, but what you have is 970 carats of amethyst. Now, I don't know where you start when you're trying to get your head around how to work with all of these.
It was quite difficult actually because I wanted to just bathe in them. There's a 1980s cartoon about a very rich duck and he dives into his safe.
It's McDuck.
It is, it's McDuck. And he swims through his riches. And that's what this parcel felt like. There's just so much different colours. There's dogtooth in there. There's superb clarity. There's mistiness. There's the chevron in there. So much different quality. There are some that are deeper, there are some that are shallower, there's those completely free-form ones. Just astonishing, and it was really quite tricky to know where to start. But every single one is as beautiful, differently, than the rest.
Amazing.
And there's so much.
There really, really is. You also get 2 reels of wire. For me, that's just a bonus, really, to be honest with you. It's a whole parcel of Zambian amethysts, and we were just very, very briefly talking about that. Gemfield Zambian amethyst. We've just been briefly talking about it already, that Victoria Fall purple, and you've got a whole parcel. My good gracious me, it just keeps on going, doesn't it? Plus you've got your 2 reels of your wire. Okay, so you've still got your 2 reels of wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that you know the wire that you're getting there is 10 metres of 0.8 and 50 metres of 0.4. and it's your silver-plated copper wire that you're getting. So in total, so 50 metres of, so you're getting 60 metres in total of your wire, and a whole host of ways. I mean, this is what I love, is a whole host of ways in which you're kind of showing us how we can. What I love, and I said to Becky before Jem arrived in the building, I said to Beck, I said, hopefully, I said, Jem will have made a piece where there's a lot of the amethyst cabochons, because I think that's difficult for me. I was thinking, how would you do that? How would you encase that? But you've done it, which is amazing. So thank you so much. And I know you were saying that is, you know, for demo day, even that is kind of difficult to take you from start to finish.
Yes, so we'll talk about
techniques. Talk about it, won't we?
Yeah, we'll go through how to create this piece here, and we'll demonstrate the key aspects.
Okay, fabulous. Obviously, you haven't had the prices yet. Can I just say thank you to everybody who's checking out? And I know that when you get this parcel home, just like Jem was saying, you're going to open it up, you're going to see all this blackcurrant colour, you're going to see all these different sizes, the glossiness, you're going to see the dog tooth, you're going to see the silks, you're going to see the jardins, you're going to see that beautiful deep violet tone, you're going to see the lavenders, you're going to see the lilacs, you're going to see the different depths, you're going to see slivers, you're going to see beautiful deep pebbles of amethyst, and so much more. And you're going to see all of that plus 60 metres of wire, $29.95. For me, the wire is just a giveaway. The amethyst for that is amazing. I would imagine just selling one ring with one of those cabs would get you back that money. Surely, if you're using silver wire. Absolutely mesmerising. Right, loads of people checking out on this one. Take us through, my lovely, the kind of aspects of creating a multi-cabochon piece.
Okay, well, we're going to look at this piece here, which I'll just sneak over if that's okay.
Smashing.
There we go.
OMG, that multi-gem pendant gem is simply exquisite. All your work is always beautiful, but that is out of this world.
Thank you very much, Sarah. That's beautiful. I appreciate it.
Charity in Florida says, wow.
Thank you very much. Appreciate every time that you sort of make the effort to just drop us a line. It's wonderful.
Lovely, isn't it? Really
warms
lovely.
the heart.
Yeah, definitely.
So what we're not going to concentrate on is the bail. We've done bails.
Okay.
And we can sort of move past that. If there's anything that you need to know, give me a shout or check back on a previous show. We'll try and find one that gives you an idea. Okay. What we're going to do is looking at creating a simple frame. We're going to look at creating a nest into which the amethysts are going to sit.
Okay.
We're going to look at temporary sitting the amethysts on the nest, and we're going to look at a little bit of the weaving to create this sort of snake design that goes all the way around. And then on top of that, we're going to look at how to sit that weave over the top of the amethysts. Now, something that you can do further to this design if you prefer is use many more of the snaky little design over the front. And what you can then do is remove these bands of the 0.4mm gauge, the finer wire. If you encase those amethyst cabochons enough, then you will be able to have an almost floating feel, as if they were bezel set or push set, as a professional jeweller would do in a solid precious metal. But that's something that you can take further on if you want to. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this back over to the side and we'll get started.
I'll tell you what, I will keep it over here because then it's here if you need to refer to it. We've got a message from lovely Katie. Hi Katie, sweetheart. Hi, got my fabulous designs, Jem. A very funny show. Thanks Katie, my lovely. I hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Don't tell anybody about the falling and the dropping, okay?
Yeah, we're going to edit that out. Thank you for being with us, darling.
Thanks for watching, lovely. And thank you to everybody who's checking out. There's so many of you there as well. Lovely to see you. Right, over to you, my lovely. Wonderful. This is all you now.
Okay, so the frame that we're going to make, as I say, we're not going to concentrate on the bail, so you would want to use probably around about 18 inches of 0.8 times 2. I'm using a shorter length in the studio because, as I say, we're not going to look at the bail and I don't want to be wasteful. So the first thing I'm going to do is just warm through that 0.8mm gauge wire by drawing it between thumb and forefinger. And then just very gently going to draw that around to give us that sort of teardrop effect. Now at the moment that's crossing over, so we're just going to need to take a second to line that up neatly. And you can use a mandrel form if you want to get that shape, but it's not imperative at this stage. So I just want to get one to sit inside the other, and it's being uncooperative because obviously this is live TV. There we go. So you want them to be about the same size, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a straighten up at the top to give us an upright line, and then I'm going to wrap this other pair of tram lines around that. But I want these two to be relatively smooth and flat, and it helps if you just pop that down on the table. Always using one of these foam boards is quite handy. Once you're happy with the position of those, we're going to give that a grip over the front at the moment, so I'm going to draw that around and across and just pull that up and out of the way into a little V shape, and we can play with that later, make whatever kind of bail you desire. At the moment we're just looking at that framework. So the next thing that we would do is make a little nest into which our little cabochons are going to sit. Now this is a super simple, uncomplicated design, and we're going to be working with a length of the 0.4mm gauge wire, and I'm not going to take a huge amount, but the idea is that you work with as much as you can possibly handle. However, it doesn't matter if you want to work with shorter amounts, because adding in is not a problem. Okay. We don't need one continuous strand of wire for this. So I'm just going to hold my frame securely, and taking a couple of inches over one side, I'm going to do my first little wrap, keeping our tram lines. So these two wires need to be flat side by side. And I'm going to wrap around that a couple of times, and then I've got two tails of wire coming away. So all we're looking to achieve here is just building a background. So the more you do this, the more secure your little basket at the back will be. So I've got a fine wire coming underneath at the moment, so I'm just going to find another position on that framework and draw that around a couple of times to make a secure finding across the back. It's not a finding really, but think of it as a finding because we're generating a basket.
You're trying to brace, basically,
yeah, we
aren't
are,
you?
indeed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just trim away that excess there and then continue with this side. And you can be very, very neat if you want. You can be very, very definite about where you want to go, but it is just a case of filling space and creating a background. Doesn't matter if you cross from one side to the other or you go down like so. What we're looking to do is to fill that space with as much background as possible. And again, I will just point out that you can add in at any time, and you need to wrap at least twice, possibly 3 times on the end section, trim away, and just keep going and adding on. When you get to the end section, it pays to just give that a bit of a squidge between flat facing pliers to make that nice and secure, and we'll go back to the other ones and just flatten them down. Now, we don't need that to be super taut because we're going to be pushing down into it. So you can see there's curves in all of the wires that I've used here, and that's because I want to be able to push my thumb into it a bit later on.
A bit of spring.
We do want a bit of spring.
Okay.
We don't need that to be super rigid. So continue going along here until you have a lovely nesty background.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a piece that I've started working on earlier on. And it really doesn't take that long to build up. And it's something you can do because you can be quite careless about where the wires go to and from. As long as they're all kind of covering all your options and you've not left any big splits. So go that way, go that way, go that way, put little curvy bits, put straight bits. Straight bits? Nobody knows what I'm on about. So that's the next section that we're looking to get onto, which is a nest. And in this nest, I've set a couple of little cabs already. Now all we're going to do to hold these, and this is a temporary hold, because when we move on to the binding and weaving a bit later on, that is what is going to give us our final structural security. So for now, we're just looking to hold these cabochons in an attractive position as and where you see them. I mean, you can have them quite spread out, you can have them all nestled up, you can have them really busy. The one that Ray is wearing, there's not very much blank space left. I could have put a couple of the smaller cabs into position.
There we go. Let's lift that up. My microphone, I've just had to replace my batteries and I've pulled on the wire. I'm so sorry. That's okay, sorry.
It's all good. It looks amazing. It's all good. So this one is quite heavily filled with wire and with amethyst, but you can have it a bit more spacious if you want to. You can use more than 2 strands when you go to the weaving section to make that beautiful snake work that goes over the top. And obviously, if you're using 3 or 4 strands, your snake is going to be wider and therefore it will cover more
Okay.
space, so leave wider spaces between the stones.
It's very comfortable on, by the way, just to say.
good.
It really does. It feels
Good.
amazing. Lovely.
It's got a real weight to it. I had a friend messaged me earlier on in the week saying it's too big for somebody like me. I'm just saying, well, if you want it to be smaller, just scale it down. The technique is exactly the same. We're just looking at scales almost.
I've got to say, it feels lovely. It
Oh,
feels
good.
really, really nice. Really lovely.
That's good to know. So this is everything that I had left from my parcel, which is so,
Look at that dog tooth one, my goodness.
much. And a dog hair. I'm really sorry, there is a dog hair
I was saying
in my
dog tooth.
parcel. No, but there is a dog hair. Sorry, that's Joey just sending his love. So what you will see is some of these have got an essence of almost magical, misty clarity. This one is incredible, really beautiful. But they're also beautiful. But you can see how many I have left. So I'm just going to pop these away now and just choose one at random. Bearing in mind you've got some really interesting shapes in there as well. It's not all perfect teardrops, it's not all perfect
That's what's
rounds.
lovely. They're not. It just creates this organic sort of look. Look at these. They're gorgeous,
He
aren't
is
they?
amazing. So he's like a lopsided almost, like a mountain range on
beautiful
a distant
inclusions.
planet. I don't know.
Definitely. No,
But
no,
amazing.
the inclusions
Absolutely
are fabulous
amazing.
in it.
And something like that you could certainly use because you've got a lovely curvature and it will sit inside the frame.
Lovely.
So in fact we might use him. So I'll just pop this one out of the way for a second. Just popping this out of the top for a moment. Now if these pop out of their little frameworks, don't worry because this is all just temporary, and if it pops out whilst I'm demonstrating, don't panic because you can always slip them back into position. So I think this little chap would look quite neat and tidy just down here. So what I'm going to do is find a position probably about a quarter of the distance from one end of the cabochon. Remember that, and then wind on a short length of the 0.4. This is about 12 inches or so. So popping him out of the way, starting approximately where we said we wanted to connect him to the whole design, and we're going to take one end around a good couple of times, probably a minimum of 3 times for an end piece when we're supporting the weight of a cabochon, albeit temporarily. We don't want it to come undone. So I'm just trying to get that to squish down, and you can see how having a fine tipped pair of pliers is really helpful as well, because you can get right inside the design and squeeze that into position. So I've got my fine wire, and you'll notice that the wire is coming from the outside of the frame, not the inside. That gives us a little bit more space just to pop that in over the top, and it can, if you want it to, sit right up on top of the frame, or it can sit slightly inside. The choice is entirely yours, it doesn't matter. So the next thing I want to do is take the other end of the wire I've just started using, and it's going to need to go down into this nest here. What we're looking to do is to find a position in that nest where the least movement will occur. So you can see here I've got several wires crossing. There's an open space, and then there's this really tiny space down in here. So if I pop the end of the wire through there, we know that that's not going to move around too much inside the nest of wire. And my wire's being naughty, so I'm just going to draw that back, draw it over the surface of my thumb and pull it back down into position. Once we've got our cabochon set where we want on the frame, I'm going to just pull the tail of that wire. We went down in a very small position. I'm going to draw that back to the outside frame and wrap at least twice to just tie that into position.
Okay.
Now instead of coming over the top again from this same position, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to flip it over because otherwise the cab will slip. I'm going to find another one of those small apertures underneath and come up from underneath. I think probably there would be quite safe. I'm just going to draw that tail through and into position, and then back over the top of that beautifully shaped, beautifully toned cabochon. Hold him in position and then wrap around the outside framework again. So I'm going to go once, up and through, get that as taut as I can at this stage, and then wrap a second or a third time, just to ensure that I've got reasonable security for the time being. Now, I'm just going to wiggle that around, and it's enough, whilst we're working, just to hold it into the position that I want that to be in.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to cut your tail off, you can just use that to make a little bit more nesting. So I'm drawing that across the back, pulling that taut back over the front, and then I've got a residue of wire. If I wanted to add another cabochon in exactly the same way, I could continue to work with that wire. So you don't have to cut any off. And I'm just going to trim that away now because we've finished. So the next piece is how to create an interesting weave using at least 2 lengths of the 0.8mm gauge. So I'm just going to pop my piece down for a second and grab 2 more lengths if I've got enough left.
Do you need
on the
some
reel.
more? Otherwise, we've got some here if you need some, my love.
No, there's going to be more than enough here, I think, to demonstrate with, because I don't want to cut into another kit.
If you gotta do, you gotta do.
No, no, no. We want you to get the kit. So, the longer your woven section is, the more interesting your work will be. However, on the piece that is in the studio here, I think there are 2 or 3 separate sections of weaving. Some people find it a little bit tricky to get the tension right over an extended period or an extended length of wire. So you don't have to worry about that. You can do several shorter lengths if you so desire. So this is going to be a simple weave, and I refer to it as the 5-2 diet.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with dieting. You don't have to give up any of your favourite foods. You don't have to starve yourself. Again, we're working with both gauges of wire. I've got 2 shorter lengths of the 0.8mm gauge silver-plated round, and I'm also going to be working this time off the reel in the bag with the 0.4. So I'm just going to find the end, draw a little bit of loose out, and then I'm going to pop the reel back in the bag, and hopefully that will keep it ever so slightly under control. Not doing what I did the other week. You think you're clumsy. I went, just pull the wire free like this, and the whole thing came out of the bag because I'd forgotten to seal it and flew across the studio. So it's not just you, babe.
I did drop every single product on the floor, which you did very, very kindly pick up, though. Do you know what I mean?
It's all good. It's all good. So what we're going to do to begin with is wind round 5 times on the end of one of these pieces of wire. So I'm just going to pick any end, it doesn't matter at this stage, and I'm going to leave myself a tail of about 2 inches before I start winding round. And then I've got about an inch and a quarter here on one side, and I'm just going to draw that around. And because we're doing a 5-2 weave, or a 5-2 diet weave, we want to go around at least 5 times. That's just wound round fairly rubbishly, to be fair, but we can amend that by giving that a bit of a squeeze and then a trim. I'm going to trim that tail off. And because this is in contact with skin, clothes and hair, we always take pains to make sure that that tail piece of wire
is tucked in.
Is tucked away. So I'm just smoothing that round to make sure that it sits down flat. So I've got 5 wraps on this side. So I'm going to introduce my second piece of wire now. And I want these to sit like tram lines side by side. So again, you can just warm your wire through. The more respectful you are of your wire, the more respectful it will be of you in return. So we've gone 5 times around the top wire. We're now going to go twice around both of them. Now you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm trying to generate a bit of tension here with my non-dominant hand, keeping a small gap between those 2 wires, because what your wires will want to do is nestle up together. So I've gone around once, and I just need that to not sit on top of those first 5 wraps. I need it to sit next to them. And then I'm going to do a second wrap around both of those.
Excuse me.
Draw that back into position. And now I'm just going to flip this entire section over because it's easier for me to work in the opposite way. So what we're looking at, get this into position. I'm going to straighten one of these over that way so it doesn't get in my way. We're looking to just repeat that same process over and over again. So I'm gripping the wire to generate a bit of space, and I'm now wrapping up the middle and around 5 times, just around what is now my lower wire. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then I tend to swap hands because it gives this wrist a break. And then I'm wrapping once around both of them, second time around both, pull that into position, give it a squeeze. You can use pliers if you value your nails. I very obviously don't, sorry, cringe. And then we're going to come back up through the centre again and wrap 5 times again. Now, you're not going to spend the next hour watching me do the same thing. The reason I'm working off the reel is to ensure that I've got plenty of wire and I can keep this going as long as I want. When I made this design, I did 3 lengths of about probably 20 to 24 inches each, just so that I knew that I had enough to work with.
Okay.
You could go so much more than that if you want to create that beautiful woven look. You can add and work on it, but what we're looking at this evening is giving you the confidence to have a multi-stone pendant which looks really exotic, but in fact...
I was so delighted when I saw that you had made a multi-cab piece.
Well,
it
it would have been rude not to, the sheer quantity of cabs we had in this amazing kit. And what I've tried to do as well is include different natures of stones in that piece. So there's one at the bottom which is a rather unusual shape, but it's very pale in its colour. And then there's some deeper hued ones, and then there's one that has the almost calcite-like effect inside. It's absolutely gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
So I'm going to put my section of weaving away that I've just done here and show you one that took me around about an hour.
Okay.
During the last hour. So I've been chatting, but this is what you can achieve whilst you're sort of sat down watching telly or having a chat or whatever. So that's a good, I suppose, about 14 inches or so of weaving. And that's enough to give us an idea, a little taster about how the mechanics of this type of pendant work. So I'm going to bring back in my incomplete nest with a couple of pieces that have been set. And there are a couple of things that need to go on now. So the first is to decide whereabouts we want our first section to go. Now I looped this piece of wire in half. That's no technique to that, it's just that I found it easier to hold the end whilst I began working.
Okay.
So there's no reason that that's a loop, and I've just shown you with 2 single strands, it doesn't matter. What we're looking for is, if you're working to this technique, which was a 5 and 2, you need at least 4 stations, so 1, 2, 3, 4, to go around the back to make it look seamless when it comes over the front. So we're going to start off by putting a little bend just there. And I'm using my finger. You could use your pliers if you prefer, but that just gives us a gentle bend and a little bit of space. If you make this bend too sharp, your weave will gap.
Okay.
Excuse me. And it will look a bit unattractive. Okay. So we're being quite gentle, and in that way we have a more delicate finish. It looks sort of less brutal,
and
I suppose.
Also there's the softness of the edges of the cabochons anyway. There's nothing dramatic and sharp about those cabs at all, isn't it? So it just kind of keeps the flow of it all.
Nice to reflect that nature. Now you can, of course, start, as I did in this piece, by wrapping around the neck of the design. But you don't have to. You can start your positioning of the snake weave just about anywhere as you prefer. So I'm just going to start between these 2 gemstones at the top here. So I'm going to lay that hook that we've just made across the back and draw that down into position. Now I'm going to give that a pinch, and that's starting to settle a little bit. You can deal with that hook at the back a little bit later on. So what I want to do is to reflect the curvy nature, as Ray was just talking about, and go across the front of the stones, like so. So you can see we're coming across the side and front of this cabochon. It's quite a deep one, this one. I'm just going to pull that into position, and we're looking to lock these cabs onto the nest gently, bit by bit. So what I'm going to do in this first weave is grip my cabochon into position with my non-dominant hand and draw that weave across the entire back. Sorry, I went out of frame there slightly. So I've drawn that all the way across the back, flip it back over to the front, and that's locking our first cabochon in position. And it really is so simple to just replicate that. Now you can see that that's very nicely just coming into position again for the next cabochon. And this is where, oh sorry, fingerprint, this is where your layering will help your design. So the more pieces of weaving like this, in whatever weave you choose, the more pieces you add, the more interesting and exciting your final piece will look, and also the more secure your pieces will be. So all I'm going to do really now is just quite quickly draw that around to reflect the shape of the bottom of this chubby pear drop. And then I'm going to do a bit of a right angle, and forgive me for having my thumb there, but pushing down with my thumb is what gives us the energy and the warmth to make that piece of weaving work for us. So I'm going to just come all the way around here, and I think for the sake of speed I'm just going to draw that across the back and leave it for now. The last section that we will work on is anchoring the snake into the body of the design. Now I've got a little residue here, it's about 4 or 5 inches long of 0.4mm gauge wire. And all we would do is find a position where we've got the 2 section of the weave, and we're just going to make a little sharp point on our scrap of wire and take both of those ends over the top of one of our snaky sections, like so, just pushing them through anywhere that feels right. Give that a squeeze down, and then once we've got that sat, it will hold into position and give you extra security. Your tail's on the back, you just take out to the side and wrap around in exactly the same way as we did earlier. So this one, I'll just draw to the edge, pull that around, and obviously you would take time to make that a little bit neater, but repeat that a couple of times and trim away. And then to add your tension, I'm just going to try and get this side in as neat a position as possible, but you can see how it draws the snake down into the body of the weave and adds to the capturing of your cabochons. And then this side we're just going to post through, draw the tail, and again you would wrap that a second time, trim off and finish. So obviously this is an incomplete pendant, but all of the techniques you need to create that piece have been shown. And it's just a case of layering it until you see fit that you've finished. Now you'll see on the pendant you're looking at right now, there are a couple of coily designs which are just nestling round some of the cabochons.
Yeah.
Now instead of finishing on the back where we started, you may find that your section of weaving wire finishes on the front. So instead of trying to kind of take that shortened piece of wire and bend it and make it do something, I thought I'd leave it on the front, but then just tied it into position really close to the end. So every technique that you need to create that has been covered. It's just a case of keep adding.
Do you know what what's lovely is how you've anchored that snake weave though, because it doesn't, you can't see it.
If you
just
sit
becomes
there,
invisible.
Exactly. So you take your time, and I mean, I've done that quite hurriedly, but you get your little V of wire that we made, and if you get that to line up just where the 2 section of your 5-2 weave is, it goes in between them and just disappears. Now you can, if you're very, very talented, work with a very long length of 0.4 that's been cut, and as you're weaving, position the section that you've completed into the design and use one of your wraps that you're already doing to connect it.
Okay.
It's tricky.
Okay.
It's possible.
But it is possible.
But this is my way of doing it.
Yeah, no, and it's gorgeous, and it's such an impact. Do you know that I can imagine, you know, that even just as a brooch.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing as a brooch?
Amazing, and you know, you could use the wire even just, you know, you've got the most beautiful pashmina. You're going to sort of maybe, you know, winter weddings or maybe sort of January, February, and you've just got this huge cluster of cabochon amethysts.
It would be
Gemstone of love as well, which is beautiful. Thank you so much, and for such a clear demo as well, because there is a lot going on with it, but actually you broke it down to perfect stages then, so thank you, sweetheart.
Very, very
really
welcome.
appreciate
I hope that
it.
all makes sense.
Yeah.
As I said earlier on, just very, very briefly, if you want this to appear invisible, as if your cabochons are just hanging by magic, we need to work on layering as much as we can with the snake weave, and then when we've captured all of those securely, these little temporary wires just pull out of the way really easily, and you can snuggle them underneath. But obviously you need to be sure that you've captured completely with your snaps over the top. I quite like them on the surface anyway, as I left them in the piece that we've got in the studio, but if you want them to disappear, then just make sure that you add enough in.
Fabulous stuff.
Sorry to have interrupted you.
No, not at all.
Just the last little bit.
No, not at all. And I was just about to say, if you've got any more questions for Jem, please get them in the next, 10 minutes or so, so that we can answer them before the end of the show tonight. Please do. There are so many of you. Can I just say, Becky, Suze, Paula, collects in Greater Manchester, Greater London, Tegwen in Gwynedd, Marie, Julianne, Shan in Pembroke, collectors in Angus, anonymous collectors. You need to check out on this kit. There are very few left. It has flown out of the doors. You knew it was going to.
Look at that.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't that just the most amazing? Absolutely. So deep as well.
Huge.
And you've got a little rainbow inside
Yeah,
it.
it is. It's absolutely.
magical.
There are obviously each entire parcel is going to be different, but you are guaranteed 970 carats of cabbage and amethysts at $29.95, plus those fabulous moments of your wire as well. Thank you, my darling. Start by next. Very vintage.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I can see this little black velvet ribbon. Beautiful choker style. Moonstone with a vintage surround, and it has got a vintage surround. You know, you've got the granulation, you've got the slight oxidization there as well. You've got a 19 by 14 millimeter rainbow moonstone, cabbed of course there, bezel set to perfection. I'm going to spin it round just to show you the reverse.
I love seeing the back of these types of pieces on Jewellery Maker.
Why is that?
The attention to detail is amazing. There's no shoddy, slapdash, quick workmanship. It's all filed to perfection.
Yeah, it is.
It all
Polished,
takes
doesn't
time.
it? Yeah, it does indeed. No sharp edges there on that filing. And lovely as well, because you could have just glued that to the back of that. But it's the fact that it's got the placement, it's got the bezel setting. It will have some light going through there as well to get that kind of sort of little shimmer of the adolescence. But it is vintage. I do see that on a sort of, you know, slight, just a little bit of velvet ribbon, on a, just literally set to perfection, on a little choker. And they are so fashionable. The choker styles are everywhere.
They never go away, to be perfectly honest, but there's a certain resurgence right now.
Definitely.
I can see that set with Whitby Jet in a Victoriana style necklet. That would be gorgeous.
Very nice.
But then I'd want more than one.
Well, I've not seen any of that for an age.
I know.
They'd make beautiful drops on earrings as well, wouldn't they?
Perfect and so easy. We've had recently some earring findings which have got a loop and they're kind of designed to work beautifully with the Swarovskis, but with something like this, absolutely spot on as well.
Had those. You're right. I can remember those. Yeah, they would work beautifully with this. And just suspend it. It doesn't have to be a long drop.
No.
Just that little sort of, but a little bit similar to what you're wearing tonight, actually. Just that sort of simple little drop. Yeah, really lovely.
I've not worn earrings in years, and I found these today just 5 minutes before I left the house, and I had to put them in.
They're lovely.
Favourite gemstone? One of.
Ooh,
top 5.
Bit of chrome.
Bit of chrome.
Bit of chrome. Bit of chrome diopside on. They're lovely.
Thank you.
Really, really lovely. So you've got beautiful. If you haven't worn earrings for years, how did you get those through?
Brute force and ignorance.
Good girl. Good girl. Atta girl. 0800 644 655.
Wow.
Again, now, please do make sure that you are checking out and confirming. You've got such a beautiful vintage look with a gorgeous moonstone. It's Indian moonstone as well. I know you don't get to see the adolescence beautifully in the studio, but believe me, you'll get it at home. You'll see that little flash of ultraviolet and you'll be happy as a Larry. Because Larry loves moonstone.
Yeah, I'm sure he does actually, or she. They both do.
What were you going to say, my lovely?
I was going to say at $6.95, it's achievable to have pendant and earrings set.
Yeah, definitely.
But something like that dropped off the pendant we just worked on as well, just on the bottom.
Absolutely.
As an addition to something fancy, you don't have to use them just very simply.
No,
you can integrate them.
You're kind of drawn towards that, I suppose, because of that simplicity. But you could do something, you know, really beautifully with this and sort of add it to something quite extraordinary. $6.95 on your screen. Make sure you're checking out and confirming as soon as you can on this. 0800 644 655, the number you need to dial. Fast approaching the last 15 minutes of tonight's late show. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. I do want to recap a few things with you before we go tonight, and I also want to show off those gorgeous opals for you for tomorrow night as well, just in case you missed those. Oh, you so need to. Hold the lines on those. Hold the lines. Now, I've got a steel block. Do you know what? It's so cold in this studio. This studio just can't make up its mind, and neither can I. Feel how cold that is, though.
Okay,
there we go.
That's a -2 block.
We've got our steel block. It's taken on the temperature of the studio. It's a little. Do you know what? I wore a cardigan yesterday. I think I'm gonna have to go and get my sweater in a minute. A little blankie. We've got your steel block. Now, obviously, when you're using your silver, and we have used this quite a bit over the last few shows for texturize. Oh, there are so many different ways in which we would use this, wouldn't we? But we'll have our hammer, you'd have your steel block, you have your maybe your sheet of precious metal or your copper metal, for example, or anything actually, even if, excuse me, you're texturizing your wire.
You can indeed, and work hardening at the simplest end of things.
Yep.
Make yourself some repeated forms, wire on the block, give them a bit of a smash, and then you've got a series of your own designed connectors or so on. And it's really handy to have more than one, because if you do work in precious metal and you send off to assay, if there is even the slightest trace of copper or bronze on your sterling silver piece, it will be returned to you to be cleansed and sent back again.
Absolutely, you are spot on.
So have one for your precious and one for your unprecious.
Definitely, definitely. $7.95, very last of stock on these. Do make sure that you are checking out. They are a little bit of an essential bit of kit for you, for those of you who do work with your metal sheets, of course. And you just had great advice there, absolutely spot on advice there about the assay office, and there's how particular they are, and they have to be. That's what they're there for. It's to sort of make sure that everybody's got that integrity when they are selling their jewellery, of course, and making sure that everything is above board. But that last of stock, that's a little bit of a freezing cold essential kit. Put that in there.
What's lovely about those is they have a satin type effect on them, and if you're working with a solid wire, so a raw copper for instance, and you're texturing on the front, the back will take on that satin effect from the block. And what I often do is I flip that over and use that side because it's really attractive.
Good points, good little tips there. These are an 84-inch strand of, did I say 84 inch? 84 centimetres.
Wishful
we
thinking.
could play tug of war with an 84-inch strand. Last 4 of your 150 turquoise gorgeous carats, Tibetan. They are very vivid. Very vivid indeed. There are some true turquoise tones running through this. Glorious colour. The last sold out, but for whatever reason 4 people didn't check out of their baskets, which means we've got 4 left in our vault. Let's find a home for them today, because it's the last of stock turquoise at $5.95.
Turquoise is a very popular gemstone.
It is
no
gorgeous.
matter its location, it's well known and it's well understood. And something like that in your tree of life or your birthstone jewellery goes down really well.
Yeah, I think for me, I've got to say Tibetan turquoise is my favourite. I appreciate that uniformity of colour that you get from the States, I do, because they're arid lands and not enough sort of permutation in the weather, but
I really love a Tibetan turquoise as well.
Gorgeous. It's selling out. Well done. Well done. Gonna move on then to... Oh, I loved this.
What's in the bags? What's in the bags?
It is a gorgeous starfish, funnily enough, Gem. Now, I like this because there is... we have that matte metallic backing.
Yes.
And there is none of that.
Did you want a piece of wire?
Yeah, I would
maybe?
love a piece of wire. Thank you, sweets.
We'll
That
just-
would be amazing, because that means then I can get rid of all the fingerprints that are on it. Thank you, my doll. And then that means that this will... Okay. This is a fab Swarovski piece. Oh, it's now on the floor. Is there a thing about people that keep dropping stuff all of the time?
We
Do you know what I mean?
call
No, but
it
is
having
there-
the dropsies.
Having the dropsies.
Having the dropsies. You've got a bad case of the dropsies tonight.
Well, apparently you drop things when you're tired, which... You did it again! Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I do. I think it's just here.
Bless. It's
Oh, there we go. Sorted. Yeah, I'm absolutely frozen in this studio. Anyway, this is what I was going to say. I love it because there's no metallic backing on the reverse. So you get to see all the way through that beautiful, the golden shadow colour of the Swarovskis that we just adore.
Golden Shadow, I think, was one of the first Swarovskis that I worked with, and it is
So
such
sophisticated.
a gorgeous colour. Sophisticated is the absolute perfect
It
word
is so
for it.
sophisticated. I love. Pop a jump ring through that on a long chain. Can you imagine? You can imagine just seeing that on the run up to summer in the window of Swarovski, and you can imagine the price point, can't you?
dread to think. It would be a considered purchase.
It would. It's got a lovely depth to it as well, so you could do so much more with just, than just put a pinch bail on there. Of course you could. It's got the sparkle, it's got the perfect golden shadow colour, and it's $5.95 on your screen. 28mm. I love it. It is last of stock. I think, in fact, we might have launched this on the Late Show a little while ago, actually. So it's lovely to see it here again.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love that it is irregular, like a starfish, having a little stretch and a dance around.
It's fab when you're seeing that. God, look at that fire that just catches through. It's beautiful.
It's reflecting on the desk like you wouldn't believe.
Gorgeous stuff. $5.95 on your screen for the last of stock. Please make sure you're checking that. This is from Anila. Said, thank you for a great show today. You've proved JM products are durable and do not break if they fall. Well, that was the reason. This is the purpose, yes. Yeah, that's what my whole purpose was. My intention was from the offset. Is that Laguna Lace agate is on the bar? It is. Should we have a little chat about that very, very quickly? Okay, so who's I spied that? Very eagle-eyed. You can have a look at that one for a sec, because I know you were ogling that. Okay, so this is Laguna agate. It's coming up tomorrow. Wowzers. It's like looking at planets.
They are beautiful. There are 3 agates in my mind that really stand out. There's your blue lace, your Botswana, and your Laguna. And this is exceptional.
It's not too far away from Botswana, apart from the fact that I think Botswana has less of those rustics and it has more of the greys and the taupes. But the pattern's different.
The pattern is different.
Isn't it?
There is something geodic about this.
Yeah, there is
I'm not
indeed.
sure that's a word, to be honest.
We're going to go with it, though.
Should we go with it? Should we rock with it? Okay.
To be honest, we go with most things on the Late Show, chicks. So
There's one just there, which is an exceptional, absolutely... Shall I just draw... Can I draw that up ever so slightly?
Yeah, absolutely. You go for your pin.
He is amazing.
Isn't it funny how you're just drawn to one with its patterns and
Yes. And what it looks like to me is an atoll from an aeroplane. So you're flying over the minutiae of the little islands and... Oh, sorry, I've messed up your display now.
No, not at all. No, we will have all these different sizes as well for you tomorrow. There is something very, very, very beautiful about the Laguna agate, and I think it's got to do with its patterns and its markings and the way that it is built and built and built and built in layers, and you can physically see that as well. So we're going to get all of these tomorrow. All of these are coming your way tomorrow, but also tomorrow. Thank you, sweetheart.
I didn't actually want to give that back, to be fair.
These are outstanding. So, without a doubt, the best black opal that I have seen, and that is something to write home about. Now, am I right in saying we've got a really limited quantity?
Ooh.
Very, very limited quantity, but good gracious. We've got less than 10. Less than 10, and if I just put a little bit of skin tone behind it and just bring in a bit of shadow as well, you get a chance to really... So this is in the 6 o'clock hour.
I'm going to make a
tomorrow
note
night
to tune in.
They are exceptional, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Not just in the fact that you're getting so many reds and blues and greens, but also that beautiful black body colour is not overpowering. It hasn't kind of overshadowed everything. They really are something else. What would you be tempted to do with these?
They are absolutely stunning, and I think the central, probably 10 or so, would be solitaire rings, and the smaller ones I would take to possibly one on a strand of maybe seed pearls or faceted black spinel, little tiny 1.5mm one, and then just have a single opal in the middle. They are just glorious. They work beautifully with pearls. They would work amazingly with the Russian chrome diopside.
Yeah.
Look
now
at that.
We're talking.
Oh, it's on
now
fire.
We're talking. Look at that.
Okay, right now there are 3 different screens to look at, and I feel like a cat with a laser pointer. It's also beautiful.
They are outstanding, it's got to be said. Look, these are coming up in the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow night, so I really do hope that you can join us for those. They are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. But not tonight. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, if they were tonight, I wouldn't stand a chance, would I?
Oh no, that's true.
And if they're tomorrow...
They're coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Right, we are going to delve into some basics for you now. Your round nose pliers.
Essential.
Absolutely essential. My gosh. How many findings do you think you could make with a pair of round nose pliers?
Oh my word. I mean, in a pinch you can make a little jump ring instantly. They're fantastic for just making the ends of your earring findings. Perfect for all of the bubble style jewellery that we did together before Christmas.
We did indeed, yep.
You need them for your wrapped loops, you need them for getting into places, for starting coils, for finishing pieces, just for pinching. They're amazing. They genuinely are an essential.
I think it's probably, this and the snippers, I would say, are probably the most used tool out of all. For all of our guest designers, I would say, without a doubt, they're probably the most used.
Absolutely, they are. In my kit of 5, I have a kit of 5 tools that go everywhere with me, and that consists of my...
So is this your 5?
This is 4 of them, and then my 5th is a pair of bail makers.
Oh, okay, yep, okay. But I mean, again, you can make a bail out of your round nose
you
if you don't have...
can.
Yeah?
Yep.
Little bit essential. Okie dokie, so... $8.95 on your screen. Make sure that you are checking out and confirming. It's got here comfortable handles, precision tips, double leaf spring, and stainless steel box joint construction.
They are a fantastic brand, and not all round nose pliers are created equally.
They are not. I know. It's my fault. I have to make sure, after apparently I said nib bits wrong the other day, I have to make sure that I'm pronouncing things correctly. I really thought I'd said it right as well. You know in your head when you're saying, say it like this, and then it comes out totally wrong.
Oh, you know, kumihimo, that word that's really easy to roll off the tongue that you've been saying for the last 6 years.
Oh,
I did a live launch with, I think it was Francis from the office, of a kumihimo kit. And the second we went live, bearing in mind this is live now, and I've done like 500 hours of this, couldn't say kumihimo. It's ridiculous. Put on the spot, can't say a word.
It happens. It does happen. Make sure you're checking out on those. Right, we're going to recap the wire. Yep, got it. That would be a no, my darling, I'm afraid. I'm definite no. I've got... No, darling, I haven't got it. Silver one. Okay, my darling, yeah. So I've got the 0.4 double treble duo of your wires. We've talked about, we had the 0.6 and the 0.8 yesterday. We've got the 0.4 today. We've got the 0.4, 10 metres. Jem is still giggling away. 10 metres of your 0.4, $4.95 on your screen for the silver plated copper wire in the 0.4. Again, this was a bit of a naughty double trouble deal that we had for you earlier on this evening. Just recapping it in case you haven't checked out of your baskets, please do. We've got the champagne gold as well,
which you could add into the kit that we were just looking at with the amethysts, because the combination of that beautiful bright lustrous silver with the gentleness of the champagne gold woven together would be delightful as well.
Let's have a look at the champagne gold with the amethyst, actually, just to sort of see. It's such a complementary tone, isn't it?
It is gorgeous. Amethyst lends itself very well to golden tones, and the champagne is just lovely.
It is. It's a very soft gold, a really appealing gold,
it's
isn't it?
sympathetic as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got 2 reels of your 0.4, $2.95 on your screen. Now we also had a bundle of square wire for you, and this was in a 0.5 square wire, and it's the copper base with the silver plating, of course, on top of it. So you're getting 6 meters for $2.95. Again, it's not often that we have the square wire, so please, we were talking about it last night, so we thought we'd try and grab some for you. And literally, the 6 wires that you've got there is literally all we had available to be able to bring you $2.95 on your screen. 0800 644 655, jewellerymaker.com of course as well, and you can join us on the app. Sorry, just tuned in. What were those gems you just showed in the brown box for tomorrow night? The gold box that we've got here for you.
With the snappy lid.
These are, in the 6 o'clock hour, these are opals.
Oh my word. Look at those red pins.
So these are coming your way in the 6 o'clock hour on the Late Show with myself and Sarah Elvin tomorrow night. Very, very last of stock, but there is absolutely no way that I will leave those in the warehouse. They have to be seen. They have to be seen to be believed. They are amazing, aren't they?
They are utterly, utterly incredible. Sometimes it's difficult to kind of bring through the true beauty of a gemstone through a camera, but I think you're seeing a reasonable proportion. But these are outstanding.
And we're looking at the screen at the back of the studio, and they are alive with colour. Absolutely gorgeous. Less than 10 of those coming up for you in the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow night. Listen, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Thank you, Gem, you gorgeous human, you, for getting on your hands and knees and sorting all that jewellery and components and findings on the floor. Honestly, I really do appreciate it, my darling. You're an absolute star. Thank you to the team. Thank you to you. I'm back with you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. When are you back with us, my darling?
I'm back on the 16th, but I can't remember what show. I'm terribly sorry.
Check her out on her Facebook page and she'll let you know then. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for the Late Show. Don't forget, we open our doors live 8 a.m. on the other side of this.
And whether you join at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price. So, when you see an item that you would like to buy, simply pick up the